Good morning, lovelies. Oh, hello. What the heck? I'm just behind the camera. Don't worry about it, guys. But hello, friends. Welcome back for some morning monologues. Technical difficulties. It wouldn't be a stream without it. How's everyone doing this morning? Let me catch up on chat here while things work. Dan, congrats on getting first, my guy. Y'all, you gotta step up your game. Dan is kicking butt. What are we at now? 5. Dan is in the lead with 5 points, followed by Neon with 3, Ms. Sharpie with 2, and a bunch of all y'all left with 1. Nice, nice. Good stuff, friends. And thank you for the hydrate. I appreciate that. Okay, looks like things are working now. We're good. We're good. Let's go. All right. Yes, welcome in, Dan. We have a Neon. We have a Jeff. We have a Night Knee. Thanks for the lurk, hun. Enjoy your lurky lurk. My scroll wheel is busted. This sucks. Oh, Night Knee was giving a good old Christian side hug. Enjoy your lurky lurk, hun. Neon was giving a polite hug for Mama Cat. Grace, welcome in. Volt, thanks so much for the resub. That is another point on the board. I could find my points. Hello, Charlie. Oh my gosh. Jeff, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. Well, shucks. Oh my gosh. Hold on a second, I'm trying to fix things. Charlie, you're not helping. Okay. Okay, that just happened. Hold on a second. So that is what, 106 now? Y'all, you get another wheel spin. Holy cannoli. You get another wheel spin. I will say, I wanted to ask guys, would you rather the wheel spin or do you want me to actually make a list of milestones? I know people were kind of indecisive beforehand, but I don't know. Anyway, oh my gosh. Volt, thank you so much for the resub. Jeff, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Oh my gosh. Welcome in, Rico. I'm slowly catching up on chat. We're already on a level 3 hype train. What the heck? Oh my good glory. Bye-bye, Beans. Oh, thanks.
The coin is appreciated.
The coin is very much appreciated. Thank you so much, Dr. K. Also, welcome in, friend. Oh my good glory. I'm still catching up with chat, guys. Give me 1 second here. Oh, good glory. Bye-bye, you beans. I must work. No worries, Night Knee. Love you, cat. Gonna be lurking and working. No worries. Enjoy your lurkage. And Dr. K, welcome in. I know I just said that now. Dr. K was giving a bear hug for Mama Cat. Ferric, hello. How about chaotically cozy? I mean, hey, that works too. We were already playing into that now. Jeff Areno was given an awkward hug. I don't know how to hug you after all those gifted subs. Oh my gosh, but thank you so much, friend. Volt was given a long hug. Oh, good glory. Good morning, friends. How are you doing today? I am doing good. I am a little bit of a zombie this morning. I am so tired. But we are here for the listing of tiers of relationship flags. We should have Hood here in a minute. Hood is back again, boys. Good morning, chat. God bless, and may our King of Kings shine upon your face. Amen. Hey, pretty boy. Howdy, howdy. On break at work right now. Let's go. All the breaks. We like the breaks. Happy time zone, everyone. What kind of chaos can we cause, cat, today? Oh my gosh. I am concerned. Oh, the chaos. Good grief. Good morning, cat. How are you doing? I am good. I am good. Again, I'm a little sleepy. I had a bit of an emotional phone call last night, but it was really good. It was really good. So I don't know. You know when you're just like, well, maybe most people can't relate, but you know when you just like have a good long cry and you're sleepy afterwards, but sometimes even after you sleep, you're still tired. That's me right now. And it's fine. Don't worry. worry about it. It's all G. Scuff is always the best. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoy Scuff. Scuff streams best streams. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I finally caught up. Okay. Jeff, thank you so much for the gifted subs to the Digital Kingdom, Icy Pants, Kodo, June, Gently Villainous, Shadow Tuner, Midwest, PS, Tomb, and the Big Amish. Oh my gosh. Be sure to thank your gifters, y'all. Oh, well, gifter, I guess. Chaotically cozy, yes. I am the door. Rico, I just thought of a whatchmadiddle. I think I just thought of a video for you for your commander walk on or whatever. It makes me really happy. Oh my gosh. Dr. K! Oh my gosh. You goobers. That is another point on the board. Oh yes. Volt, you still want blue, right? I can do blue. Jeff, what color would you like for your Christmas balls? And Dr. K, what color would you like for your Christmas ball as well? I don't have the Christmas tree right now, but we can do that in a bit here. Oh my gosh, and that got us to a level 4 hyped. Oh my gosh, you goofy goobers. Thanks for the hydrate, Dan. Oh man. Good glory. No sound for hydrate? Yeah, no, the blurps are off on this section. Just, yeah. Just to discourage people from paying money towards blurps so that we don't get distracted.
I'm here. I've made it.
Hi, Hood.
Hi, what's up?
Oh, you know, just trying to put my heart back into my chest after it jumped out.
I had to do something right before. I was like, oh crap. I was trying to run.
Oh, you know, you just missed a hype train, that's all, and my stream being scuffed.
I was watching it. I did that because I had your stream open, so I saw it happen. Yeah, thanks for doing that, guys.
Yes, again, be sure to thank your gifters, friends.
See, this is why you can't have coffee usually, because the jitteriness, your heart would be like outside of your chest.
Oh,
like, blow right out of you.
Well, nice to see some things never die. Ever since I started streaming, mods would jump into VC and be like, "Cat," I'm like, "Ah!"
That was quite literally the All Might. I am here.
Yeah, except it was like, oh, I'm here. I'm like, ah! Oh my gosh. Well, good morning, Hood. How are you this morning?
Morning. How you doing? I'm not too bad. I'm slightly bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning. I actually got decent sleep, so.
Dang, please share. Please share. I'm trying.
I wish I could, to be honest with you. My energy will be like Goku being like, you just gotta like do a spirit bomb and be like, give me your energy. You know.
Oh, sorry. Anytime someone says Goku now, all I can think of is like, hey, it's me, Goku, and the bracken just snaps your neck. It's like, ah! I can't do it.
Some of my favorite memes are the ones where it's like, there's that one dude that dresses up like Goku, and it'll be like these girls talking, and they'll be, I forget exactly what it was, but they're just like, yeah, women can do anything. Like, women are, and they're like, well, what do you mean? They're like, well, women are pretty strong, and then he'll just like instant transmission behind them, and he'll be like, so I hear you're pretty strong, huh? You want to fight? And just like, I love those. It's so fun.
Oh
so I hear you're pretty strong, huh?
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Oh man, I love those. Yeah, let me see if I can find it real quick. Wait a second.
Yes, please do. Please do. I'm gonna keep trying to catch up on chat.
Yeah.
Volt says, thank you for the raid the other day. With that, I'm close to affiliate. Let's go! That's awesome, Volt! Oh, I wasn't paying attention when it comes to Bible. I lose all sense of time. Hey, that's totally okay. That's totally okay. I get that. It's all good. Oh, now I see your message, Hood.
Yeah.
Zach will be there. It's all good. Honestly, I was gonna try, because I know that it takes forever for me to catch up on chat. So I was like, oh, it's all good. You take your time. I still gotta catch up on chat. Oh man. But yeah, yes, Dr. K, thank you for the gifted sub to free 905 picks. Oh, interesting. Never heard. I don't, unless someone changed the name. So be it. All right. Excellent, Rigo. Excellent. Purple. Always purple. Okay. Yes. Purple, light blue. We're so close to level 40. So blessings. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Y'all enjoy your, I believe they're Christmas emotes now you can get from Hype Train. So enjoy your Christmas emotes, y'all. Thank you so much for the level 4 Hype Train. That was so sweet of you guys. My good glory. Also,
Wholesome.
Gabby, welcome in. He might as well have said boo. Oh my gosh. Also, Cardoodles, thank you so much for the lurk. I appreciate that, hun. Are you okay, cat? I'm fine. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Ooh, open hype chest. Let's see. What do we get? It's a duck with shades and holly on his head. That's funny. Hey, Tree, welcome in. How's it going, friend? Morning, cat. I hope you're having a wonderful day, darling. You as well. You as well, chickie. Merry Christmas. I can say that now, right? I can say that. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
it's not Thanksgiving no more, so you
It's
can get
very
away
much
with it.
not Thanksgiving. See, that was always. Oh, also, it stopped my. I think I screamed so loud it stopped my music. I don't know.
Broke the sound barrier.
Yeah, I did. Thanks,
Dang.
thanks, Ed. Also,
You're welcome.
I noticed when I was clipping last time. Hold on a second. I need to increase your volume because for some reason.
Was that quiet?
Well, I had it so that I always have it so that Discord's a little bit quieter than me, so chat can still hear me because some people have really loud mics. But when I was clipping yesterday and editing, I'm like, oh shoot, I should have done like an audio check beforehand because I'm like trying to find your voice in the audio editing and like lift it and then lower mine just because I'm just naturally loud.
It's always different too because like I feel like your primary mic is always going to be like the one you're speaking into is always going to be louder on your end. So
that's true. That's
it's
true.
just
That's
kind
true.
of the way it is.
It do be do. It do be do. You're just a more gentle speaker than myself. So I need to practice speaking gently so that I'm not overpowering my guests. So
yeah, it's my morning voice again. I'm telling you, it's that Sanji Eric Vale
there you
voice
go.
I got in the morning. I mean, it's technically not really morning anymore, but
I
it carries with me.
mean, it's morning somewhere.
It's morning somewhere.
Morning somewhere.
Japan, maybe?
Hey, it's still morning here. It's like just after 9 for me.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Depends on what you consider morning, I guess.
That's fair. That's fair. Also, y'all, I know somebody. Hold on a second. Let me scroll back here. Somebody redeemed daily check-in. I think that was Jeff. My scroll reel is still broken. Yeah, daily check-in. Thanks for that, Jeff. All right, chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely, or what did I say? 1 being absolute trash, 10 being absolutely amazing. How are you feeling? I want to know. So let's start off with Hood. How are you feeling today?
Oh, I'd say it's like it's like an 8. I think 8's pretty appropriate. It would be a lot lower if I was like really tired, but I'm not. So
Wow, how to be you.
it's not bad.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm afraid of what your number is now, Kat. I think you need to say what your number is now.
Well, first I want to read Jeff's because Jeff literally just put pie.
Excuse me? Wait, where? Oh, you did put pie. Bro, that's really low, man. Are you okay?
Are you okay? Do you want to talk about it, Jeff?
Bro, who spat in your cereal, man? Did you too grab a fork to eat your cereal? It's really sad when it happens. I full on sat down, Kat. I full on sat down with the fork in my hand and then looked into my hand and I went, and then I got up and had to go and get it. I literally sighed like in real life. It was crazy.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, no. Was it at least a spork?
No, it was a full on fork.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, it was a fork and I was trying to eat some Special K cereal. And it,
Of course. Why is everyone eating Special K? You know what? It's fine.
It's good with the red berries in it, And I had actual fruit I could put in it, so I had actual fruit to put in there with it.
Okay, that slaps. That really slaps. Okay. Sorry, I
Yeah.
have PTSD now from when Lizzie was. I don't know if you were there for that episode, but we were talking about. Oh, we were. I think at the beginning or halfway through my ultimate anime tier list,
Yeah.
and I was explaining this anime series called. It's just called K, and I
Yeah.
stumbled upon it randomly years back. And when I would try to find it again, I just would type in anime K and it wouldn't pop up. I'm like, oh shoot. And so then I was like, well, maybe I need to add other words to it. So I put like special K and it showed up. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm just gonna call this anime special K from now on. And Lizzie's sitting there in voice chat, she's like, special K, like the cereal.
Nice.
So now if I don't know if you guys noticed that Easter egg though, but now when we're in the tavern, you too can see special K on the back with our boy from the K series.
Wait, I need to crank my mic gain. Does it still need to be cranked? Do I have to do something?
um
Or am I good now?
I keep cranking up in OBS, just trying to
Okay.
again fiddling with volumes because like trying to keep in mind of like when we're loud and stuff. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know,
yeah.
guys. How does Hood sound? Do I need to turn him
Am I
up? Does he
okay?
need to turn himself up? Let us
Tree
know.
One's Cut Down told me that. Oh, by the way, how you doing, Tree One's Cut Down? How you
Yes,
doing?
sir. Oh, he is. His
That's
whole
good.
job is audio. So if anybody knows anything about mics and
Oh
audio stuff,
yeah.
it is Tree.
All right, yeah. See, audio is like the thing that I'm like least good at, unfortunately,
Oh,
of
that's
everything.
okay. I'm
It's the
I'm
thing I
still
struggle
learning.
with, so.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
make up the difference in OBS if you can. Maybe a touch more if there's room for it.
Okay, okay.
Also, hey.
Hello, hey, hey, hey. All right, I'll turn you up. All right.
I think I found the clip, by the way. I just want to make sure there's no like cussing in it because I can't remember.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. And Discord compresses the heck out of voice chat. Yeah, it really does. It really does. Again, okay. Sorry, just a little side tangent for y'all. Does anybody else? It can't just be me, but anytime Discord updates, does it mess with your audio settings?
It
Because
hasn't for me. It hasn't for me.
every freaking time, guys, every freaking time I have to go in and turn off crisp. I have to turn off the automatic voice suppression or whatever, and it drives me nuts. I
Wow, yeah, that's really annoying.
hate it so much. And I don't
Hmm.
know how to change that. So Hood, please teach me your ways.
Yeah, I don't know. I've
Ugh.
never really had it do that to me, even when I update. I don't know if it's just a you thing. Like, I'm not sure what would be
It's just a
causing
skill
that.
issue. I know. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, you just need to like somehow, magically make it work. It's a skill issue. I don't know what to
I
tell
just need
you.
to get good, guys.
Yeah, sounds like a you problem.
This is just payback from yesterday, y'all. I
Okay, I
when
found it and it's clean, so here you go. I'll
okay,
give it to you.
awesome. When Hood posted that he grabbed a fork to eat his cereal, I'm like, oh, that sounds like a skill issue, my friend. And he's like, I should have. You're right. I should have tried with chopsticks.
Yeah, man, what a blunder for me as a man. I should have went for the hardest difficulty, like I said
Yeah, what?
before.
You're not living up to what you said before,
I
Hood.
know it's because I'm hanging
Come
around you now, Cat. I went for normal mode.
on.
Spoon is easy mode. Fork is normal. Chopsticks would have been like nightmare mode. So, have you ever tried eating liquid with chopsticks? I don't think so.
Eat your soup with chopsticks. Give it a try, y'all. You only
Would
live
just said get
once.
good scrub.
Sorry, Hood. I seem to have that effect on people. I still to this day have a couple friends who like they're not Christian and so they're prone to like cussing and whatnot and
Yeah.
stuff. And to this day, I think just recently they broke out of the habit of anytime they play Goose Goose Duck or anytime I'm in their chat, they immediately stop cussing. Because they're so used to playing with me on my channel. And I would always be like, hey guys, like, I'd appreciate it if, we could keep cussing or cursing or whatever to a minimum. I'm like, oh yeah, totally. And so they just got to the point where, what was it? This one girl, one friend of mine, I jumped to her stream and she's like, Cat, I got a bone to pick with you. I'm like, oh, what happened? She's like, I can't play Goose Goose Duck anymore without like screening myself from cussing and I'm mad at you. Oh, like, well, you're welcome, question mark.
I think that's just the Holy Spirit at work. That's what you needed to say.
Yes, there we go. And even like
That just
another
means that they respect you, though, so that's cool.
I
You know?
do do really appreciate that because yeah, like that again, like not that I force people to be like, oh,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
can't cuss or curse around me or whatever. But again, like with streaming and stuff, like that's your business, that's your brand and stuff. And so yeah, if you have certain expectations or certain standards with your business, then if people want to join along with it or participate in that, then it's like, okay, well, here's kind of my standards and my boundaries and stuff. And yeah, there were some people who disregarded them completely, and there were other people who were like, "Nope, like you are my friend and I value and appreciate you, so I'm going to be respectful of that." And it was great. It was really cool. So again, y'all,
Yeah.
it's Christian, non-Christian. You can still have mutual respect and kindness and love for one another. Like just, you know, it's okay. It is a thing.
Yeah, it's funny because even with like some of my non-Christian friends, they would ask me, like, does it bother you? I think I mentioned this last time, and I was like,
Mm,
hey, well, if that's if you're asking me, be like, yeah, I mean, I'd appreciate it if you didn't, but if you can't be yourself and you feel like you have to constantly be on pins and needles around me, I'd rather
mhm.
you just be, you. And I found that like, that they'll still try to like, find like ways to be like, like it might still happen, but I noticed like they'll like catch themselves, which just makes me giggle because it's like they
Yeah.
like are trying, but it's just like they're so used to it, so they'll just be like, "Ah, frick," and, like it
Yeah.
just like kind of rolls like that. It's so funny.
Yeah. No, I definitely had one of those friends who, again, like, cause that's who he is. When he's with his other friends, like, yeah, they're like cussing and cursing up a storm, and that's just what they do. That's just who they are and stuff. And so the first couple times that I had him on stream and stuff, it'd be like he'd say something like, I mean, it's like it's okay, you get a pass. It's okay. Like it happens. It slips out. I just appreciate the fact that you are trying to be aware of that and trying to keep an eye on that and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah. Well, and
like
for me, like, I'm pretty like desensitized to it because of going through college and stuff. So like it doesn't
yep.
even actually like bother me. But
Hmm.
like it's like, if I can like have a chance to like not hear it, to like as like a
Oh yeah, yeah.
guarding your ear gate thing, then yeah, I mean I'm gonna choose not to. But like I don't know, like the difference between like me and my mom is like extreme because my mom's just like she'll like literally cringe, she can't handle it, and it
Hmm.
just makes me laugh because if I'm ever watching something, she'll just be like, "Man, come on, why they gotta do that or whatever." It just makes me laugh because it just doesn't affect me the same way. So funny.
Oh man. Yeah. That was like yeah, that's very much my family too. Like you can definitely tell which family members uh hang around a rougher crowd or just
Yeah.
even are just around that more than others cuz like I don't know. Yeah, like you said, we'll be watching a movie and like some people won't even bat an eye. Other people like, "Oh, that's $1 in the swear jar" or something like that. So, yeah, but yeah. Anyway,
That's
sorry.
funny.
We're off topic. That's okay. Cause you know what? It's morning monologues, y'all. We monologue and we go on rabbit trails. It happens. Okay, so you sent me, hold on a second, let me go find this here.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, it's of course it's this guy. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just gonna open
Yeah, I
it
like this guy.
in.
He's funny.
Oh, he's so funny.
Did you see the
This
Trunks one that he did before?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's so good. It's so funny. For anyone that likes DBZ, he's pretty funny.
All right, let me unmute this here. Are we gonna do the 3, 2, 1 play again?
Yeah, 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 yeah. All
All
right.
right, count us
Ready?
down.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, click.
Oops. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We gotta restart that. I still
Okay,
had
okay,
it
okay,
muted. I'm
okay,
so
okay,
sorry,
okay, okay.
guys.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Where's the
Okay, hold on.
volume? Okay, I think that should be good. I think that should be good. Okay. I'll turn it.
Yeah?
Actually, I'll turn it up a little bit. Okay. Sorry. Count us down again.
Okay, all right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, click.
Used to be so scared, but I finally just left him. You're so strong for doing that. You are strong. I feel strong.
Did someone say strong? Hey, it's me, Goku! You look strong. You wanna fight?
What
Like the haunting, like him, like in their heads, just like you look strong, wanna fight?
Yep.
It's like
Oh my
so
gosh.
good.
Yeah. Oh man, I love this guy. Oh man. He's got some funny bits and also like just crazy voice acting sometimes.
Yeah. Like he does this one, like the Trunks one where it shows Elon Musk's like robots that he made, the Tesla robots or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And they're like walking in because they were presenting him for the first time on TV, like the person's watching it, and then they like pan over to that like double door thing that they showed that they tried to run to, and
Mm-hmm.
he comes in like as dressed up as Trunks, and he's just like, if we let those androids in, it'll be the end of all of us. No! And he like screams. It's so good. It's like so accurate.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Oh man. Okay,
Man.
sorry, chat. I'm gonna jump back to the daily check-in. Let's see. Jeff says, I mean, I would like some pie. All right. Volt says 7. Body today, bit tired, but mentally, spiritually, I'm feeling 10. Hey, we like that.
Okay.
Log
Yeah.
2 16. You're a 16, Dan? Is that how I'm
Dang.
interpreting that? That's good.
Dan's like freaking, he's on cloud 9.
I was gonna say, like, he's out of this world. Wrecked. As long as I lie to myself 10 every day.
No!
No, we don't encourage lying. Wreck.
No. Hey, how
Welcome
we doing,
in.
Rick? I guess you already told me,
Oh,
but hey.
my gosh. River, welcome in. How's it going, friend? Good glory. Ender, good morning. Holy moly. Good golly. I would probably put myself at a let me think about this for a second. I'd say physically a 6 and mentally and emotionally a 7.
Okay, that's still good. That's an
Yeah.
average. That's a good
Yeah,
average.
we'll take it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to catch up on chat here. Jeff says you could use straws for chopsticks so you can drink your soup.
Yeah, but you got to get like the really strong ones, you know, those really thick ones, because they just don't make straws like they used to. You wouldn't be able to pick nothing up with them.
Oh my gosh. Okay, do you guys still have everyone trying to do paper this, paper that? Like, do you guys?
They wanted to, but everyone hates it because one, they're way worse than plastic, and ironically, two, they're actually worse for the environment, which I think is hilarious.
Exactly. Oh my
They're actually worse.
gosh. We're still trying to get back to plastic because
Yeah.
for some reason, I have a head figure in the lovely land of Canada decided get rid of all the plastic bags, all the plastic straws, but we're gonna keep all the plastic cups, because you know,
Make that make sense.
double standards, right? And so then, of course, haha, it comes out actually this is worse for the environment, and they're like, oh, we're gonna go back to plastic and stuff, and I'm like, where's the plastic, people? I'm still waiting. Stupid. Okay, it's so dumb though. It's so dumb. Like when you go to like 7-Eleven, you get a plastic straw, right? Because you have a full drink and it gets melty and it would soak your straw, right?
Yeah.
Medica, explain why Tim Hortons still has paper straws for their ice caps and anything else. Like I can't. Like your straw is soaked in a mushy mess before you even get halfway through your ice cap. Like it doesn't make any sense. It's so dumb.
Well, I'll tell you now,
bad.
I've never come across an actual paper straw in the wild. We've still always had plastic everywhere I've ever been, so it must not have made it to like my region.
Guys, this is my sign. This is my sign. I need to move to America. I need to move to America. I need to get out of Canada.
What is Tim Hortons, Volt? What do you mean, what is Tim Hortons? You've never been to Tim Hortons?
I was gonna say, the fact that you know what Tim Hortons is. Also, welcome in Howie and Julian. Hello, friends.
I'm surprised people don't know what Tim Hortons is. What?
I mean, to be fair, I think it's only in like a couple areas and states. Like, I think it's slowly expanding, but I believe it's only in kind of like the eastern. It's like the northern and eastern area of the states.
Okay, maybe then. Okay,
I think
maybe.
so, yeah.
Because I'm like, I grew up with one in my hometown.
Dang.
Nope, we don't have them here. Are you serious?
Hood, are you sure? Are you sure that you're not actually in Canada and people just haven't been hoodwinking you this whole time?
I've been gaslit my whole life. I'm actually just like, right somewhere in like Toronto or something.
It all comes back around. The gaslighter has been gaslit his whole life. It all makes sense now.
Oh my gosh. No, No, I feel like I always thought, man, I always thought people knew what Tim Hortons was. Okay, maybe. All right.
It's okay. I always thought people knew what what's another one we have here? I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I'm like, oh yeah, so guys, this, and then everyone in my chat is like, huh? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Wow, really? Only in Virginia, huh? That's
Dang.
crazy.
I'm pretty sure.
I
Hold
feel
on a
like I've
sec.
seen them because I've traveled too, and I feel like I've seen them other places. So like, I don't know, man.
Tim
Maybe I'm
Hortons,
maybe I'm
USA.
hallucinating. What are they
Okay.
putting in them Timbits?
Okay, so there's Tim Hortons in Delaware, Kentucky, Minnesota, New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Maine, Missouri, North Dakota, Texas, Indiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, and West Virginia.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's a lot of places. Yeah. See, I thought it was in more places.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a lot of places. Dang.
Okay,
I mean,
but
that's
it's not
still not the whole of the
Oh yeah,
states.
see, it is in Pennsylvania. Volt, you've just been closing your eyes, see?
It could also just be like two tiny little areas or something. I don't know.
Possible. Yeah.
Sometimes I like to hide things. Like heck, like we finally just got Chick-fil-A in Canada, and there's literally like
Oh,
maybe
dang.
5 places in all of Canada where there's Chick-fil-A.
Oh, nice.
Maybe
Did you
5
get-
is too many. So
Did you get to go to one?
I finally got to go to one for the first time, and there was a stupid big lineup. But again, like I'm blown away at their customer service and just how organized and on point they are. Because
known
it
for it.
was a stupid big line. Like it ran basically the entire length of the food court. And this is at the West Edmonton Mall, y'all. I don't know if anybody knows about the West Edmonton Mall. It is one of the biggest malls in all the world. And so they have a stinking big food court. And the line ran like probably 3/4 of that length. Like it was insane. But we only were in line for maybe 10 minutes, like 10, 15 minutes. And we thought we were going to be in there for like, I don't know, like half an hour to an hour. Like it was
Wow.
crazy. However, I will say, because it's in a food court mall and because there was such a high demand for it and so many people, they don't have every food item that if you went to a normal Chick-fil-A down in the States, they didn't have every food item on the menu. So like people were saying like, oh, did
Okay.
you get the mac and cheese? I'm like, there's mac and cheese. There was no mac and cheese on the menu. Like what? So I need to go back and actually try it again because it was so rushed and so stressful. But yeah, it was good. From what I remember from eating it, it was really good. But they also messed up my order, so I was a little sad because I had tried to buy the chicken nuggets and the chicken strips to kind of like do a taste test comparison because a lot of people were being like, oh, I like this better. No, I like this better. That's gross. So I bought both. I get home because again, we were like in such a rush to like go. I get home and I realize, oh, they gave me 2 boxes of nuggets.
Oh, dang.
I was like, oh man, that's a
What a
bummer. Yeah, it's fair. Oh, you
Alright,
don't
fair
like
enough.
Tim Hortons? Interesting. Okay. I mean, it's not for
Probably for the
everyone.
best, but
Yeah, I definitely had to take a break from Tim Hortons. Like after working there for like 5 years, I was like, I need a break. Like,
those Timbits will destroy you, man.
oh, Timbits are dangerous. Oh, you know what's really dangerous is when you work there and the baker is basically like your grandma and she calls you into the back and she has pulled out like fresh from the oven sour cream glazed Timbits and freshly
Oh.
glazed them. So you just pop it in your mouth. It's still warm and it just melts. Immediate melting in your mouth. It is so
Oh,
good.
man.
So good. Oh.
That's crazy. You got like the insiders Timbits. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was spoiled before they cracked down on those rules where you can't do that anymore. I got to be there before all the corporate cracking down of laws came down into Tim Hortons, so I at least had the fun times.
Back when you used to be able to grab the donuts with your bare hands, none of this glove garbage.
Oh, actually, no, we didn't do that back then.
All right.
we
Fair
had
enough.
the little what do you call them? Like the little like kind of plasticky, but like what do
They're
you
like-
call those? They're
They're
like
like latex, right? Usually.
no, well, it was like these little sheets of paper kind of dealio, and you'd pick up one of those and then grab your items. Like there were no like the gloves were specifically for the kitchen. Only the kitchen got to use the gloves because gloves were expensive. And so we had
Yeah,
these little
okay.
like dang, I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of the word, guys. My brain, it's not working. But it's fine. It's fine. But yes, no, we didn't grab things with our bare hands, but you know.
Fair
Sometimes if it was a muffin, you just kind of grab the bottom of it and it's fine. It's fine. I don't speak on behalf of Tim Hortons. I haven't been at Tim Hortons for years. Don't come at me.
Cat
Uh,
sneezed on all of the muffins every time that she would give them to
yes.
people.
Yes, if you were rude to me, you better watch out what I did to your food. No, I never did. We never did that. We weren't that we didn't stoop that low, Hood. We didn't stoop that low.
It's just extra flavoring, Cat.
We
That's
would
what you
just
needed to tell people.
we would just take our dear sweet time with your order. So we just made you wait. If you were being
That's fair.
rude and just like angry and like rude to us and other people around you, we made you wait because guess
Dang.
what? We were above. Well, because okay, this is for another day. This is for another day. We're gonna keep
Yeah.
going down that rabbit hole. But we were above that, but we still were like, no, you don't get to behave like that. No. So anyway, all right, I digress, y'all. We're here for some. That's probably my red flag, though. Ha ha ha. I'm just a little bit petty.
Great transition. Great
I was-
segue.
I was grasping for straws. I'm like, I need something. I need something to get us back. I did, however, stumble across. Let's see here. I found this on Twitter this morning, so I was curious what your guys' thoughts of this were. So it's what is it? It's one of those like iPhone message images. It'll pop up, I guess, on stream in a second here. And the caption is, "He's been through too much." And so it's a dialogue between, I'm imagining, a guy and his girlfriend. And the first person says, "I have a question for you. Yes, I'd cry if you died. Yes, I'd love you if you was a worm. Yes, I still love you. No, I don't want to break up. Thank you."
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah.
Yo.
What are your guys' thoughts on that? Like I don't know where this came from, but suddenly all these women are like, "Would you still love me if I was a worm?" And it's like, what? Huh? How did we get here?
I've heard both sides of that argument too, where there's
Oh,
girls
really?
that are just like, just say yes. Just say yes. We just want to know that you would still love us if we were a worm. And then there's other girls that are just like, that's a freaking weird question to ask. Like, so I've seen both sides.
Well, it's just, I don't know, because it's like, what? Why are we? Where did this question come from? Like,
I know there's like a big TikTok thing where they've like, there's like a lot of trends, like the ketchup trend was another one, and I forget
Ketchup trend.
exactly. Yeah, or the orange one, the orange peeling one was another one. I think the ketchup one.
Oh.
But the
Okay,
orange
yes,
peel
yes.
would be like, would you peel this orange for me? And then if they
Mhm.
do it, then they love you, and if they don't, then they
Dump 'em.
don't love you. And so yeah, it'd be like that. And so it's all these like little tiny dumb tests
Mhm.
that it's just like that aren't really conducive to like the totality of a relationship, but it's like,
Yeah.
oh, if he doesn't peel your orange, you got to get rid of him. It's like, what, hello? I don't know.
See-
It's kind of dumb. But
Yeah, I've seen those blowing up a little bit more where it's like, "Oh, you need to test the relationship." And I'm kind of sitting there, I'm like, "But why do we feel the need, like something's wrong if you feel you need to test your relationship?" Like there's this thing
Yeah.
called trust, and if you're basing your trust of this person on a TikTok trend, like first of all, you need help. What's wrong? Like why? No. TikTok trends are notoriously famous for being stupid or getting people in trouble or just ruining people's lives. So, first of all, don't do that. Just say no. Maybe it's a good thing TikTok's getting banned. I don't know. It's just I don't know, man. I don't know. But secondly, it's like no. Like if you're struggling with trusting your significant other, there's other issues that need to be addressed. There's other things that need, like, no amount of like, "Honey, will you peel this orange for me?" It, like that's not going to fix anything. That's not going to show you anything, especially
Right.
if they already know the trend and they are not a good significant other or whatever. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'll peel the orange," and it's like, okay, whatever. But it's I don't know. It seems very self-centered, very selfish. Of
Well,
like,
and you know, it's like not actually something that they probably really care about the way that
Yeah.
they're saying they do because you recorded it and put it on TikTok.
exactly.
That's not something that you would do if you were really trying to actually test someone to see if they were, good relationship material. It's like you're doing it for clout, you're doing it for clicks so that people will either feel sorry for you or be like, yeah, you got a good person. And it's like, that's what I think makes it the most egregious to me is it's like, you seriously tried to like catch me in like some form of like I don't know, like maybe I'm just tired that day and I just didn't feel like I don't know, feeling an orange. I don't know. I probably
Yeah.
would, so it's like whatever. But I'm just saying like it's like, you know, if it was one of those things and I just didn't, you're like, and then you're gonna publicize that and put me on
Mhm.
blast in front of all these people. Like, are you serious? Like,
Yeah, like
that's a red flag in and of itself.
it really is. Like, but man, it's just I don't know. I don't know. It just leaves me feeling icky because like it's one thing if I don't know, say like my boyfriend or husband came up to me like, "Hey, like could you peel this for me?" Or "Hey, could like," another one has been like, "Can you tie my shoes?" And they're just standing there. And like, yeah, if their arms are full or if it was or if I don't know, they just randomly asked me like, yeah, I'd probably 9 times out of 10 I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, I can do that for you." Cuz again, like this is someone that I care about. This is someone that
Mm,
I I want to do what I can to help them succeed or to show my love and appreciation for them. So 9 times out of 10 I'd probably do that. But as soon as you pull out your phone and start recording, then it's kind of like, mm, okay, but why? Like now I'm questioning things. Like, okay, but why? Like,
right. Now you're
why?
making them a public spectacle for like
Right?
no reason. There's certain things that just need to be that need to remain private, and unfortunately in the world we live in, nobody wants to privatize anything. They want to put their entire lives up
Mm-hmm.
on the internet for everyone to see,
Yeah.
because this other person did it and they respect them, I guess. I don't know. Like it's just
They got famous. I want to get famous too. It's like,
why
no.
though? And like why do you? You know what I mean? Like I
Yes.
don't want that many eyes on me all the time, you know? It's
Mm-hmm.
like that just would get old after a while. I think people don't really realize that, but
No. They don't realize it until it's quote unquote too late.
yeah.
So, and then it's like, oh, I regret that. Or, oh, I wish there weren't eyes on me. And it's like, ah, my young
Yeah,
summer
well even like
child.
even look at like someone like PewDiePie, for instance, right? Like he's
Mm-hmm.
retired now, he has a family and
He
whatever, and he's just, but
does.
he will never be able to just go and live a normal life. Like he'll always be
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
PewDiePie, so he can't go places without people probably recognizing him unless he
Mm-hmm.
makes it a privatized event somehow. Like he's a straight up celebrity now. He can't,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
and he's a celebrity that like was self-built, so it's like it's just a different dynamic altogether. He made himself that way by himself without anyone's help, and
Mm-hmm.
then, you know, for the most part. And then
Oh yeah.
it's like now he can never go back, and so it's like, well, that's, you know, got a lot of benefit from it, but also it's like, you know, there's pros and cons to being that big, you know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
Like I can go out to my grocery store. No one knows who the heck I am. And I'm like, great, this is great. I can just grocery shop in peace. just or even just being online. Like
Yeah.
with the fame comes all the good things of it, but also all the hate, all the judgment, all the like stalking or whatever and all that jazz. And
Right.
it's I don't know. Again, you gotta weigh your pros and cons and stuff. And it's like if it's worth it, great. Just
Yeah.
please be wise and don't do anything that's gonna hurt yourself or hurt others. And if you don't want
Right.
to do it, that's fine too. Just enjoy life. Just enjoy
I think a
living
lot of
life
people
in
need to do that more.
peace. It's like, uh,
Lebowski says generally hypotheticals are a waste of time. I agree for the
mm-hmm,
most part. I think it depends on the hypothetical though, because there's some
mm-hmm,
hypotheticals that are legitimately like solid hypotheticals, but stuff like "Would you still love me if I was a worm?" is it's kind of like it's baiting to some degree. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because there's no really good way to answer that. You know, it's
mm-hmm,
like it's putting someone like just looking at it from like a blunt standpoint, it's like you're putting someone at a disadvantage because it's like no one is ever going to, you know, care about something that is like, you know, like a worm is it's not even like it's not even like an animal like a dog or something that you can have that has emotions and whatever. It just
uh-huh,
squirms and whatever. So it's like
yeah.
it's literally putting someone on in the hot seat of having to make some like weird mental compromisation. And it's like I like that's why they say a lot of the times they're like just say yes and then it'll make her happy. But it's like I don't know, it just feels
It
gross
feels,
to do
yeah,
that.
it feels like you're forcing them to compliment you in a sense or to forcing them to give you that affirmation. And it's like, that feels icky. Like, I never want to force anyone to compliment me or give me, like, I have a hard enough receiving compliments as it is. So it's like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
to feel like you're forcing someone to give you affirmation and stuff like that, just, I don't know, to me, that feels icky, you know? Just
Yeah.
a little bit. I think someone, uh, Where was that here?
That's why I prefaced the statement with generally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I got you. I
Oh,
got
here
you.
we go. Heron says, just hit him with the, my mother was a caterpillar and my father was a worm. But I'm okay with that now.
Sounds like a Monty Python skit.
Oh, that's from VeggieTales Jonah Khalil.
Oh, is it? Okay, I didn't remember
Yes.
that.
Oh man, I quote that so much. Also, hi Miss Sharpie and Ambassador, welcome in, friends. Oh
what's up?
my gosh. My mother was a caterpillar, but my father was a worm. But I'm okay with that now. Anyway, yes, ladies, if your man is with you, never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. People are like, but I need to know. It's like, yes, yes. Just like, it's hard enough when people are, I don't know, when people are like, do you love me? Like, that's okay. If you like, if you're having a bad day and you just need that little bit of affirmation, like, do you love me?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, of course I love you. But to be like, would you still love me if I was a worm? It's like, okay, first of all, when would you ever be a worm? Like,
Right.
that's when I start to wonder if it's maybe kind of just like people taking the, would you love me if like, or would you still love me like what is it, like as you get older, like yeah, your body changes and stuff, and some people like gain weight or lose weight or you get wrinkles or you lose hair and just things like that. So it almost feels like it's just that but amplified to like an outrageous.
Well, because those questions are actually legitimate, because those very
Mhm.
well could and probably will happen, right?
Oh yeah.
The other's a total hypothetical. It'd be like in a similar vein of saying like, would you still love me if I didn't exist? It's like, well, you
Yeah,
went exist, so I wouldn't
exactly.
have anything to love. And they're like, so you wouldn't love me? It's like, what are you talking
You
about?
wouldn't be
Chill.
here. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but the rest of those, like all those, like that's unless someone's doing it like every hour on the hour and being like, for lack of a better term, clingy or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I'd cry if you died. That's legitimate. Yes, I still
Yeah.
love you. Yeah, that's like, I feel like it's good to verbalize that. That's good.
Oh, very much so.
No, I
Yeah.
don't want to break up is that's like heading toward like where you're maybe having these like delusions of like, oh, they did this thing and that means they don't want to be with me anymore or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that still is like that might be something that needs a bigger conversation. But the worm one's just kind of like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, the
So
yes. Well, if anything, y'all, this is just a reminder. You're gonna get old. Your body's not gonna look the same as it did in your prime. You're not gonna be able to function the same, and neither is your significant other. So, oh man, that's a whole nother rabbit trail I could go down. But do we dare? Do we dare? It's still like red flags in relationships.
we haven't got to a single red flag yet.
See,
like
almost
so.
an hour in. Okay. We'll leave that then. We'll leave that then. That'll probably come up later, guys. That'll probably come up later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes, we are back with our flags. We have our green flags, we have our beige flags, and we have our red flags. So, obviously, beige flags is probably going to be bigger because, again, it depends on the situation or depends on the person and stuff like that. Whereas green flags are very obviously green, red flags are very obviously red. I speak good English, guys.
Oh, she told on herself. Freudian slip. Freudian slip.
Just kidding. Alrighty. Okay, so we ended on sleeps in, which again, it's like it depends.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get to our first one after we're already an hour and things.
Let's go.
Gives lots of affection to their/your pets. I think
that's good.
yeah, I was gonna say I think that's a green flag. Like I'd be concerned if they didn't care about my pet, because it's like that's my pet. Why are you not care? Like you don't have to be like, oh, you like no, like just as long as you're like, oh, not like I don't know, kicking my dog or something like that.
Right? Yeah.
Like
punting
no,
Charlie
worries,
across
Dan.
the room or something.
Oh my gosh, I would strangle them so fast. Like, oh. Okay, that's a good point. Also, welcome in, Comfy Hobbit, but that is a good point. But what if they give more affection to a pet than a human?
Right, but that's not what the question. Because I was thinking that too. But
That's
I
true.
think you have to kind of take it for what it is, right? It just says give lots of affection to their or your pets. It kind of is just saying that, oh, if they're good. Like my mom did that apparently, like when she was dating my dad way
Aw.
back, and she said one of the tests she gave him was like to see how he would be around kids and pets, and apparently kids and pets just like naturally love them, and he was like really good with them, and like
Aw.
So apparently that's like a test you can do. Like if you watch and you
That's
see how
true.
animals respond and they are like skittish or like somewhat aggressive, that probably means they sense something that you don't.
That is true. That
Um,
is very true.
so
That's a good
I
point.
think I think it's a green flag, you know? I mean, yeah, it's like if they're given lots of affection to the point that it's like weird or something, I guess you could say, but I feel like that's stretching it. I feel like this is
Yeah.
just a green flag. So,
Yeah. Like, and I realize some of these questions or some of these flags are gonna be like very vague. So that's when we usually like try and go down that rabbit hole of like, okay, well, this is very vague. So what if like playing the
yeah.
devil's advocate too for a little bit. So if this one had said like gives too much affection or gives
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
affection to
Yeah.
their pets,
Mhm.
then I would lean towards more of a beige or red flag. But it just says gives
Yeah.
lots of affection to their or your pets. So to me, that's a clear sign that like I don't know, like I mean, not that I guess being affectionate to pets isn't the same as being affectionate to kids, but it shows that there is that kind of like caretaker side to them, you know? Like they have a
Yeah.
caring heart and they know how to take care of their pet. They know how to love their pet and just yeah. So that to me that's a green flag. That's a green flag to me.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty fairly cut and dry one overall.
Yeah. I think so. Wow, that's impressive. We don't usually get these. We don't really usually
I
go through these.
know. Sometimes we got to deliberate for a long period of time.
This is great. We're doing great, guys. Huzzah. All right. So next is people pleaser.
People pleaser. Man, they really are going on the attack for you, aren't they?
Hey! I wasn't going to say anything. Gosh dang it, Hood. But yeah,
You've only told it to me like maybe 10 times since I've known you.
I said I'm a chronic recovering people pleaser. It's fine. Um, see, I wouldn't necessarily say that this is a red flag. Definitely beige. I would not put this as
Mm.
green at all. I did not write these, Jeff. You guys submitted these. I made actually no, never mind. That's a lie. I did put a couple in here, but y'all ain't gonna know. I would not have put this one in here. I am not here to out myself. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a red flag, but definitely a
Yeah.
beige flag that needs to be kind of like kept an eye
Addressed.
on.
Yeah.
Because I know some people who are lean more towards the people pleaser side of things. And they just, I don't know. As long as they're recovering, like someone who's working on and like addresses that they're a people pleaser and tries to acknowledge that,
Yeah.
then like that's a beige flag leaning towards green flag. Because again, like they want to serve people, they want to be kind to people, like they want to please people in a sense, rather than like I don't know, like they just don't care about people at all. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like it's that, but it's to the extreme where it's like, okay, this is not healthy. Like this can be like borderline like dangerous and stuff. So
Right. Yeah, because like my natural instinct wants to be like somewhere between green and beige because I think it's a it's a good thing to like want to in essence
mhm,
serve other people and
yeah.
whatever, but if it gets to a place where you're constantly being stepped on, then it's like, you know, it can start to be difficult to have respect for that person, and I would say especially if it's like a guy more so,
Mhm.
probably.
That's fair.
Um I think what's even worse, where it becomes the most egregious, where you would head toward red flag, is when it's someone who is pleasing other people to such a degree that they sacrifice you in the process, right?
Yep.
Um, so it's like I care more about what this person thinks than I care about what like you think, for instance.
Mhm.
Which kind of comes to be more of like probably more of like an insecurity is my guess, you know? So it's like I
Yep.
guess there's different versions of people pleasing. So this one
That's
again is
true.
like another one of those vague ones that it's like, okay, you could look at this a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Um, because my natural instinct is like the only typical bad thing from like a usual people pleaser that's just like, you know, just wants everyone to be happy is just the
Yeah.
fact that not everyone can be happy. And sometimes
Mhm.
you got to put your foot down so if someone's abusing that, right? Because I would say
Mhm.
it's fine until it starts to cause problems, right? So
Mhm.
um that's just my reflection on it, but it
Mhm.
usually
I agree
does
with that.
probably become problems. That's why it's kind of looked at as more negative, I would assume. So
Mhm. Yeah. No, that's true. That's very true. Maximum, welcome in. A people pleaser just needs more self respect, in my opinion. Honestly, that's very true. As
Yeah.
someone who, again, like chronic people pleaser recovery victim, it usually stems from like childhood trauma and stuff where either you didn't get attention unless you were like serving people or giving people what they wanted and stuff, or you were bullied a lot unless you, again, tried to give of yourself or give, like, just please them or what. Anyway, it stems from like, again, yeah, like not having that self respect because you're trying to win people's affection or people's attention or whatever, or you just genuinely mean well and you just end up sacrificing your own needs and stuff because you're so focused on other people's needs, which
Yeah.
again, like, I can speak on this because this is very much me sometimes. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better, guys. I promise I'm getting better. But yeah, again, like you're usually the general goal of a people pleaser is you want to, like what Hood said, you want to make people happy. You want to see people um just happy, thriving, doing well and stuff. But that can be dangerous when you keep sacrificing your own needs or your own safety or well-being and stuff like that. Or yeah. Or then you just run yourself
Yeah.
ragged because you're trying to make everybody happy, but everyone's definition of happiness is different. And it just, yeah. Anyway. So I'm
Yeah.
okay putting this in. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say because I was thinking like when I was like younger, I called myself very passive, is what I
Mm,
said. I don't know if I would consider it people pleasing, but I definitely was in a position where like I would basically allow people to walk on me because I was
mm-hmm.
like, well, maybe they're having a bad day. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I was just taught to give people the benefit of the doubt, to be Christ-like, to try and like,
Mm-hmm.
and so sometimes that would be to my own detriment, but it was usually if it was someone else that someone was doing something to, then I would stand up. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like a people pleaser is less likely to stand up under most circumstances rather
Mm-hmm.
than just like but I don't know. Again, I guess as there's like differing degrees, but I used to be like that's why I was saying I'm like I used to be passive. As I got older, I became more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And I have tons of stories about that, but that would go too long for this particular one. So I was trying to think. I'm like I feel like that would probably stem into that, but yeah. Anyway, I would say it's
Yeah.
probably beige, just because again, it's something that probably needs to be addressed. You probably shouldn't leave it that way. You know what I
Oh, for
mean?
sure. And again, like
So
these aren't, again, trying to be careful with how many things I label red
yeah,
because again, like with a people pleaser, like I mean, not that I want to throw myself into the red flags, but also like as someone like I get that. I get that. And 9 times out of 10 people pleasers genuinely mean well. So, I don't know. I would hate for someone to be like, "Oh, you're a people pleaser? No, this isn't going to work." Like, no, like
right.
you're never. Let me just state this clearly, which I'm sure we all realize this, but sometimes you just need a verbal reminder. You're never going to meet a perfect person.
Yeah,
There's only one Jesus, and he's coming back someday, but you're never going to meet a perfect person. There's always going to be, like, you're always going to have flaws. Now, you can kind of decipher and decide which, like, imperfections or which, like, beige or red flags or whatever. Like, I don't know, like some people, everyone has different variants of red flags, but you control who you end up dating or who you end up with and stuff. So you get to decide that. But I would hate to throw a whole bunch of things into red flags that might not be a red flag, or
yeah.
like, again, beige flags, like there just needs to be conversations, you know?
Right. But
And
this one legitimately, I mean, it's so because it's so vague and it has such a
mhm,
big spectrum of like where you land in there. To me, I think it makes sense to be. I like it doesn't really make sense to be in red or green because
mhm,
it's just something that I feel like, and like you said, it's like this is not one of those that it's just like, oh yeah, I can't be in a relationship with someone like that. It might be something like, oh, let's work on
mhm.
that. Like you need to stand up for yourself type of thing.
Yeah, like, and
That's
again, as like in a relationship, like you're accountability buddies, you know?
yeah,
So if you
yeah,
know, like, I don't know, someone uh struggles with I don't know, again, people pleasing, then it's like, hey, okay, well, then you guys can like talk about that. And also you can also keep an eye out for them, be like, I don't know, if they start to slip into people pleasing, like step up for them or be like, hey, like, what about you? Like, or just things like that, like
Yeah, yeah.
stand up for
And I
your
feel like
man or
this
your
is
woman.
some yeah, well, I feel like this is something you could help your you know boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever,
Hmm.
you could help them like get out of this by just kind of like when those moments arise, just trying to kind of like I don't know if coaching them through it's the right thing, but it's something that is just like, like they like because like it's like it makes me think of like the scenario where it's like have you ever seen the people made like a bunch of memes out of it, but it's the
Oh
girl
no.
with the guy and she's just like he said no pickles on like his thing or whatever. Have you ever seen that? They
I
did one with like Daisy and Luigi or whatever too.
I don't know. Okay, I've recently seen a meme of like someone animated this conversation, but yeah, basically this girlfriend and boyfriend, they're out to eat, and she's like, "You didn't order that." He's like, "Oh no, maybe I did, maybe I did." And the waiter comes back like, "Oh yeah, you definitely ordered that." And the guy's like, "Oh yeah," and the girl's like, "Nuh-uh." She like drags him aside. She's like, "Look here, my boy, like you could bring out like actual literal cow poop, and he'd be too nice to say no. But you
Yeah.
know what? I'm gonna call you out on your crap." Just like,
Yeah, it's basically that same
oh,
situation. Like I feel like those are the moments that if it was just like, "Oh, I didn't ask for this, but it's okay. I'll just be fine." That's the moment like if you know that they have an issue with that, like it's
mm-hmm,
like, "No, you got to go back up there and tell them." You can be nice
mm-hmm.
about it, but you
Oh
got to go
yeah,
back. You know what I mean? Like that's how you
yeah,
can kind of like, you know, help someone get through that type of thing in my opinion, I think.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And again, like this is coming from the single lady, guys. So don't at me. It's okay. Calm down. But from what I've heard, like it helps when you have a significant other who like maybe their strength is your like a couple of their strengths or a couple of your weaknesses and stuff. Because then you guys
yeah.
like it just you complement each other, you know? So if
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like the typical like introvert extrovert kind of example. Like extroverts kind of help the introverts like, "Hey, like let's go make friends or let's go out and stuff." And the introverts, I don't know, help them like, "Okay, like you need to like it's okay to not be with people, like just breathe and just
I, th-
just read a
I
book or
think
something."
I think the introverts are usually good at helping extroverts be able to like self-reflect, be more
Yes.
self-aware.
That's what it is.
Um, like to be able to think more of like think of like how you're treating others. Think of how this and that, like kind of like a self-discipline
Mhm.
where I think extroverts are better at like literally just like getting you out of your shell to like
Mhm.
do other things. Let's go here,
Yeah.
let's go do whatever. Yeah. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but
Um Also Faithful, thank you for the alert, Con.
mm,
Sorry,
mm,
I'm just gonna try and catch up on chat here. Maximum says,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
especially as Christians, we fall into that because we feel like we need to serve people all the time. You need to make sure you're okay too. God wants you also to be healthy and happy. Um, like God wants us to take care of ourselves, but also, yeah, I think that's something that I've struggled with a long time because I grew up in a
Mm,
very legalistic home where it was
yeah.
like it was basically your salvation. Well, not that you earn salvation through works, but it was very much a works focus. Like, what are you doing for people? What are you doing for like you always need to be like self-sacrificing. It's like, okay. But yeah, like again, like God made you in his image, you are his child. And so you also need to be taking care of yourself too. Like again, like we're still called to, I don't know, first serve him and then serve others and then ourselves. But he never called us to be doormats. Like he called us to be gentle as doves, but shrewd as vipers, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So
And I think
there's yeah, there's some
I I
balancing.
I I think there's like a difference too between like, you know, because we're like told to serve others, we're told to like turn the other cheek, a lot of that
Mm-hmm.
type of terminology. Um, but the way that I've always kind of interpreted that, because there's different times where you don't turn the other cheek. I think like war is a really good example of that because
Yep.
if you're in war, people would say, well, the Bible says you have to turn the other cheek when this other nation is just like destroying like tons
Yeah.
of people for
Yeah.
no reason. It's like, no, no, no. That's the time to, stand up and do something. And I think that that can be done on individual bases too. So, like, I think really what Jesus is kind of trying to get people toward with stuff like that is like, this is what I want your default heart setting to be. Like, this is where I
Mm-hmm.
want your heart to be, is to turn the other cheek. It doesn't mean that you don't stand up for other people or yourself or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but you should always have a mind instead of trying to get revenge, instead of trying to get justice. You let me get justice and you give them the benefit of the doubt because they don't know what they're doing, right?
Right.
But in terms of like people pleasing and stuff, so it's like, taking that idea of, yeah, we do serve people, and that does sometimes mean that you're gonna get persecuted. It means that, sometimes you're gonna have to put yourself at a disadvantage for somebody else because you care about them. But I think that's different than simply just like letting people use you and hurt you and all that
Mm-hmm.
other stuff too. Like there's like a balance there, and some of that I think you can find when you are in tune with the Holy Spirit a lot better. Like he'll
Yeah.
kind of show you like where the boundary kind of lies, or even if in a situation you're like, no, I feel justified here, I know I'm justified here, and he then tells you, but give him the benefit of the doubt anyway, right? Like I think so. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you find that balance, or it's like, well, maybe I should give him the benefit of the doubt, and maybe the Holy Spirit will tell you, it's like, no, it's okay. Stand up for yourself. Whatever. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. Like I think there's a balance there. So
Yeah, exactly. I think, yeah, Dan kind of points it out too. I'm back just to weigh in on this one. It comes down to motive and intent. A
Mm,
people pleaser validation from pleasing people. A Christian in service to others should be doing it for the Lord and not for people. Yeah, exactly.
hmm yeah,
And I feel like sometimes it can slip, like even just again, like a Christian trying to be self-sacrificing in the sense of like serving others, like loving others, being kind to others and stuff. I think that can slip into people pleasing. So again, it's just people who are more naturally, I don't know, naturally inclined or with a bigger heart to serve and to love people and to give of themselves. Those are the people who can especially slip into people pleasing. So again, it's
yeah,
like there's a good heart behind it. It can just slip into something that's not healthy and not good and stuff. So
for
yeah.
sure. Hey, yo, what's up, Code? How
Code,
we doing?
hello, friend. You about to be a matchmaker or relationship doctor? I mean, hey, if people, take from this and run with it, and it turns out good for them, fan freaking tastic. But again,
But
take
if it
everything.
doesn't turn out well, I take no responsibility.
It's like I'm just a guest here. I'm just a guest here. Oh gosh. Yeah. No, we're just, again, take everything we say with a grain of salt. This is just our opinions and stuff. So, and I realize not everyone's gonna have the same opinions. And that's okay. Especially also this is coming from a Christian perspective as well. So, uh,
Yeah,
you know, it's we do. So okay, so I put people pleaser in beige. There we go.
yeah,
I'm gonna put a little higher up because again, it's like it's one of those things where it's like, it mean
yeah. I feel
yeah. Anyway, I'll shut up and we'll go on.
that.
Ooh, okay. Next one is easily triggered, and then in brackets, trauma related.
Ooh. Ooh,
Mm,
see again, that's another one that's kind of vague,
hmm.
but that's definitely leaning toward red flag for me.
Yeah, okay. My 2 cents on this. I grew up in a house with a very angry or multiple very angry parental figures and stuff. And so they were also easily triggered by the dumbest things. Like I still remember
Yeah.
me sorry. Here's a little story for you guys, but just to give you an example of why this bothers me so much. Um me and my siblings were down in the playroom. We got called upstairs. We all came running up. And then we all proceeded to get spanked because none of us turned off the downstairs light.
Mm,
So, yeah, the easily triggered thing,
yeah.
it's like, and again, like I realize like people have like hurt people. And so these parental figures in my life had grown up in very extremely angry and abusive homes and stuff like that. So this was a step up, but also still like, that's also not okay though. It's not okay to be that easily triggered and stuff. So,
Yeah, I feel like the key word here is trauma related because that's what gives it a little more
mhm,
sympathy.
yeah,
Because you're saying you get triggered based off of bad things that have happened to you,
yeah,
but easily. So it's like that's in terms of trying to have a relationship with somebody, this is something that needs to be addressed immediately. It's something that needs to be worked out immediately and understood that, like, hey, when these situations occur, you got to know that this is not me doing whatever traumatized you in the past or whatever, like I'm not that person that whatever that happened or whatever. Or else you're gonna have where like you're in a position of potentially walking on pins and needles with that person, and
Mm-hmm.
this one's touchy because it depends on whatever that quote unquote trauma is, right? Like the trauma
Mm-hmm.
could be nonsense, or it could be something extremely serious.
Yeah.
And so I think it depends on what that is and what, like, again, so like, oh, shoot, I don't know. That's kind of dark, but I'm thinking of like the stuff where you have a relationship with somebody and they were like essayed or something before,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now you
Yeah.
try to touch them and you're just touching them because you care about them and it freaks them out or something, right? Like they just can't do that. Like that could be difficult in a relationship depending on the circumstances. But if
Mm-hmm.
it's something more like, I don't know, like see, this wasn't a relationship, but it's making me think of a scenario that I had in college with somebody who was supposed to be, I'm going to be very vague just for the purposes of it, but
Oh yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah. That's
someone
fair.
who I was working with was they perceived what I was doing was I was taking their credit for something in a project that we were doing. And they eventually ended up telling me, like, to the point that they said, I'm not going to help you anymore. I'm not going to help you do the project and this and that. You can do it yourself because you want to take all the credit. And I'm like, I was in a position of where there was a lot of stress on me. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, why are you doing this to me? And I started just kind of laying into this person over the phone. And they ended up eventually telling me, well, I guess I was just feeling that way because, um, I had this, like something like my dad used to have this type of a scenario, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like where they would try to take credit, and I just was like, okay, but I'm not your dad. And
Mm-hmm.
that's basically like, that was something where it was like, yeah, that was a trauma thing. They were triggered because of things that were not really happening, they perceived were happening. But we were good after that, after we had that conversation.
Oh,
So
good.
but that was something to me where it's like, okay, I get it, but you're being ridiculous because this is not the same situation. So, like,
Yeah.
in terms of if you translate that into like a relationship, that could get really old really, really quickly if like
Mm-hmm.
every
Oh, very
two
much so.
seconds, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
someone
Yep.
is getting, or they're like constantly, like maybe they've been cheated on before or something. So
Yeah.
then every time you talk to somebody else, they're like, oh, so you really like them, huh? And it's like, what is your problem? Like, it's
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, exactly. I think that's where it boils down to a red flag for me. We live in a
yeah,
day and age where victim mentality is very prominent,
yeah,
and it sucks because yeah, there are so many hurt people. There's so many people with trauma. But at the end of the day, everyone else is not responsible for your trauma, if that makes sense. And I say that as gently and as lovingly as I can. um like if you're taking the steps that you need to like talk to a therapist or talk to a friend or like work through that trauma, like if you're just using that as like your, I don't know, trump card to excuse you like easily being triggered and stuff like that, that's not healthy, that's not okay. And if you know as Heron and Code have been saying, like some people may not recognize their trauma and stuff like that, but if you know that like you have those issues, like for me, um due to being in an abusive relationship, like I did not date anyone for years, partially because I was very focused on my journey with the Lord, but also because I knew like I like there's stuff I need to deal with, and I don't want to put, I don't know, I don't want to put a guy in an uncomfortable position of him having to deal with my trauma with me when it was that severe. Like yes, maybe later down the road, once, I don't know, I've healed more and I feel more okay sharing that trauma and also feeling like I've healed enough from that trauma, then maybe I'll enter into a relationship. And then it's that person's decision of like, okay, like they still have this trauma, they're still dealing with it and stuff. But if I know that someone's like actively trying and not just like this is my excuse to lash out and stuff, then I'm more inclined to like, you know what, I want to walk this journey with you. You know, I want to
yeah.
be there alongside you with this because I care about you and I see like you are trying, you're taking the steps you need to, and like we can get through this. We can work through this and stuff. Whereas if someone's just blatantly like, "Oh yeah, I have this trauma," and that's just their excuse for acting out, then it's like that's not healthy for them and that's not healthy for me as a person, you know? I don't know if
Yeah,
that was a
no,
little too
for
harsh
sure.
or whatnot, but
No, 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 I don't
yeah.
think it was at all. I was just letting you speak. So yeah, no, that's I think you had a lot of wisdom in doing like what you did, where you're like you had enough self-awareness to say, okay, I'm in this situation. Self-aware enough to say, there might be situations where I might potentially be touchy on these things, and so for my benefit and for somebody else's benefit, because I don't want to be unfair to them, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just gonna bow out for a little bit from the dating scene or whatever, and then you let God kind of heal you, and then you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's I think that's the wise way of going about things, because this is like if you are in a relationship with somebody who is like this is very, very difficult to maintain a healthy relationship, in my opinion, which is why I
Mm-hmm.
would consider it a red flag.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, because we live in such a victimization culture, it can be difficult to try and like say that, because it's like, oh, so you have no sympathy for people's trauma. It's like, it's not what I said.
Yeah.
Um, but like I think someone I read up here while you were speaking,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, Heron Club Dog said the issue is people who don't try to change.
Yes.
And
Yep.
that's really, I think, the main issue. And then Maximum said, I generally say red flag because trauma is real, but it's not an excuse to mistreat people. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Exactly.
basically it. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that's I'm sure that it's not it's not even necessarily, I'm gonna say this with a grain of salt, but it's not even
Mm-hmm.
necessarily your fault why you're responding this way, because yeah, something very well could have
Mm-hmm.
happened, but that's just not fair to do to somebody else
Yeah.
that is not related to it. It's not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
Um, so yeah, so as far as like a relationship goes, that's definitely something I'd be like, if this cannot be handled, nipped in the bud immediately, that's territory for saying, okay,
Mm-hmm.
this probably won't work. So
Yeah. And it's just healthier for both parties to not enter into a relationship if someone's still easily triggered. Oh,
yeah.
you're good, Sel. You're good. Also, welcome in, hun. Happy belated birthday again. Hope you had an awesome stream. Also,
Yeah,
Arthur, hello. How's it going, friend? But yeah, for me, it's the easily triggered.
yeah,
It's just a sign that they're still not ready for a relationship. And again,
yeah,
like you can still be friends with said person. Like you can
yeah.
still be friends with them.
Hmm.
Just it's not, I don't think it's healthy or safe for either person if they're still that easily triggered from trauma. There still needs to be some healing. There still needs to be some working through things and stuff. Otherwise, uh, also sometimes trauma victims can treat their significant other as a crutch, you know? But then there's
Yes,
that
that's
extra
so true.
pressure of that like on that other person, that extra responsibility of, oh, I need to take care of this person. Oh, you need to fix my problems. And it's like, but that's not their responsibility. Like, yes, as your partner, in a sense, like we need to be encouraging and lifting each other up and walking through the trenches with one another. But there are certain battles that we need to take responsibility for, you know? Like our
Yeah,
partner can still walk with us through it, but that is kind of like on us to be walking through that. And then they just come alongside. It's not they're carrying us through this. Because that I don't know how else to explain it. It's just it needs to be of your own volition to want to work through that and heal through that, not thrown on your significant other and like, you need to help fix me. Because they can't
right,
fix you. Nobody can fix you except God. And of course,
right.
like therapy can help and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway.
I think the only scenario where this is something that has the potential of working through is if the person that is afflicted in this is self-aware enough to say, like when those moments happen, to be like, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to be this way.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm actively trying, I just had a moment, I'm sorry, whatever. And then you see like where they're trying to progress towards that. But again,
Yeah.
that's it's like what Club Dog said. It's like, well, that's someone who actually is attempting to change.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also have to look at it. Are they actually trying to change, or do they just use the "I'm sorry" as like a scapegoat
Yeah.
to keep doing the same thing too? So it's like, you really got I think it's a very individual by individual basis thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
For me,
this
it's
one
the
sucks.
easel.
This one's like,
Yeah. For
it
me,
sucks to
it's
have
the
to talk about,
easily,
but
for me, it's the easily triggered part. Like if like they
yeah,
can be triggered, like that's okay. Like,
yeah,
cause well, it's not okay, but it's okay in the sense of if they're like, sorry, like that was just triggered trauma related. I'm working through it. But easily just feels like it's still a fresh wound.
yeah,
And so there needs to be a time period of maybe just take some time, go to therapy, get that counseling, talk to people, get that accountability, and work through that. I don't know. I'm very
Yeah.
I'm very torn on this one. I would put this either like very bottom of beige or very top of red, just because it is something that like needs to be addressed and that conversation needs to be had and be like,
Yeah.
are you taking the steps to work towards that healing process?
Yeah. For me, I would definitely put it in red, but I think it's a red that
Hmm.
has the potential to be addressed. It's
Yeah.
so yeah, it's like it would be like if we're talking about flags, it is a like it comes up in my mind as
Yes.
okay, that needs to be addressed or else, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of envision it. Whereas like a beige flag is something like okay, that's maybe something we need to talk, but it's like it's not in it's like it's raising like a little caution, but the other one's like no,
Hmm.
this is a problem like
Yeah.
that we have to fix. So
Yeah. Very
um
much so. And it's one of those like it could move to a beige flag because again,
yeah,
like
yeah,
if they're taking those steps, and I guess the other thing is if they're taking those steps to work towards that, and if you as like you as as not the person who's gone through the trauma, if you are willing to walk with them through that as they're walking through their healing process, there is no expectation that you have to. Again, as a person, you get to decide what red flags or what beige flags or what green flags you are okay with and you are willing to commit to. So as you as a
right.
person, it's like, are you willing to walk with them through that? Because that is their trauma. That is a part of them that they are going to have to continue to journey through and stuff. So
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Now Neon brings up something that's kind of interesting. So what would you say for stuff like panic attacks or PTSD responses? Like where would they fall under that type of thing?
Um
I'll let you speak first because I have feelings on
okay.
that. But
For me, like it's also something that yeah, it could be easily triggered and it could be trauma related and stuff. Um and again, like it's something that it all boils down to I know it all boils down to motivation. Like are you just going like is this are you going to take on the victim mentality of like, "Oh, like I'm like I can't do anything about it. Like I'm just stuck with this." Or are you like, "Hey, like I am prone to panic attacks. Like these are the ways that I deal with it or I have PTSD and this is how like I've gone to therapists and doctors and this is how I'm working towards dealing with this." Like are you dealing with the trauma is what it boils down to for me.
right, yeah,
Like if you're not dealing with it, then that's not healthy for you and that's not healthy for me either. Like it's not healthy for either party if you're not taking those steps to work with it. So,
yeah.
I
It,
yeah,
go ahead and finish what you were saying.
I was just going to say so yeah, it's still technically like trauma related because yeah, like nobody asks for PTSD or panic attacks and they use like PTSD stems from trauma. Panic attacks can stem from trauma. Sometimes it's I don't know full details on it, but sometimes it's just like it just that's just the way it is sometimes, unfortunately, or just or because of the situation or whatnot. Um, but yeah, it can be easily triggered. But again, it's like, are you motivated to work towards like dealing with those things and stuff, you know? So, because again, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like what Arthur said, we're all broken people. Like nobody's perfect in the end. Also, welcome in, Rosie. Good to see you,
What's up,
hun.
Rosie?
Let's go.
Yeah, like for me when it comes to that, like this is it's so touchy because there's certain fine lines because
Mm-hmm.
I feel very deeply for the people that suffer through those because it's like I think too what where I have an issue because I'm a little bit more blunt with how I feel about things. So like some people say I have panic attacks and I have PTSD when they actually don't really have it.
Yep.
They just don't know how to handle their emotions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I have a little less sympathy, and that sounds kind of messed up to say it that way, but that's kind of just because I think some people like I feel like how you said it's the victimization culture. It's like almost everybody's got trauma, so to speak. But it's like, okay, but there are some people who legitimately have trauma. Like I'm thinking of like war veterans and stuff like that, right? They wake up in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of the night screaming or almost attacking their spouse because they think they're back in
Yeah.
Nam again or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That is
Mm-hmm.
very different from like, oh, this I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that's an extreme circumstance. And there's like a part of me that's like, I mean, I don't think that necessarily means that that as the other person that is dealing with that person, that means that you have to, I mean, unless you're married, that's different. But if it's like, if you're trying to get into a relationship with someone like that, that I don't think that is a necessity for you to stay necessarily. But at the same time, it's like, I do feel for that other person that it's
Oh,
like
very
they
much
literally
so.
they can't help that. So it really is like a sucky situation.
It is.
But I would still argue, even in those cases, assuming that all of it is legitimate, actual, like I can't help it, panic attack, PTSD, that type of a thing, that still is under red flag though for me, because
Yeah.
that's still indicative of, if it's not ever able to get addressed and it's always there, then it's like that could just cause issues for both of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
it can be extremely sad, like I said, even for like the war veteran thing, because
Oh,
it's
for
like,
sure.
you know, yeah, it's rough. So
Yeah. So again, guys, like we said, like we've put it top of red because it's one of those things that can move to beige.
yeah,
It's just
yeah,
it just depends on, like, I don't know, like whether or not they're willing to deal with their trauma, you know, or work towards dealing with their trauma. Or if it's just, I'm a victim and I'm going to sit here. It's like, okay, well, then that's up to you whether to decide if you want to continue or towards that relationship or whatnot and stuff. So, also
yeah,
Husky,
yeah.
welcome in. How's it going, Hype?
Hey, what's up?
Yo. Rosie says here, yeah, you can't self-diagnose yourself with stuff. I know some people who will be like, oh, I have this just to get attention. So it sucks for those who really deal with it. Yeah, that's
And that's what I'm mainly talking about.
yeah. Yeah. Because again, like I've met some people who are like, I don't know, just like, I have anxiety. And it's like, okay, great. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, how are you handling that, or how are you dealing with that and stuff? Whereas other people, it's like, I have anxiety, but I have these meds, or I'm going to therapy, and just like they're taking the steps to better themselves in a sense, you know? So as long as a
Yeah.
person's like taking those steps to take care of themselves, like we are all accountable for ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves. And not put that expectation of others to take care of ourselves.
And I feel like
What am
the
I looking? I
usual.
feel like I worded that weird, but
No, I still got what you meant,
okay.
because it's like, I feel like the usual differentiation between someone who really does struggle versus someone who doesn't is the
Yeah.
person who struggles usually very much doesn't want to anymore. And
Oh,
they're
yes.
very actively
Yeah.
like I don't even think that they're not gonna be the person that's saying like, "Oh yeah, I have," because for them it's like oftentimes probably embarrassing, because it's like it's something
Yeah.
they can't control, it's something they can't help. Where
Mhm.
the faking victim person is like, "Oh yeah, they collect them like Pokemon." And it's like, you know, it's like, "Oh yeah, I have anxiety and this and that." And it's like, "No, you're just using those as an excuse so that you can not be a nice person or whatever." You know what
And
I'm
not take
saying?
accountability for themselves. Yeah.
Or yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of usually what I feel like is the difference. It's the people who really struggle that are just like, they don't even want to typically address it. Like they don't even want to like think about it, because it's like,
Mhm.
I don't like this element of myself and I'm trying to fix it and I don't know how or
Mhm.
whatever. You know what I mean? So
Yep. Very much so. I agree with that.
that's what I would usually argue. It's not always the case, but
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Rosie says, as someone who has dealt with anxiety her whole life, I work every day to make sure it doesn't majorly affect my relationships and to be more Christ-like. Yeah, exactly. As soon as, I don't know, as soon as people write things off like, oh, I can't, I don't know, I can't, I don't know. I don't know. As soon as people start making excuses for being uh mean or unkind or unchrist-like person for thing, it's like, okay, well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Others will say they have the same anxiety to get out of things, unfortunately. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like, again, like what Hood said, I gotta catch them all.
yeah, it's like sometimes it really feels that way. I mean, that's kind of
uh,
like a silly way of putting it, but it just it's like it's become a common currency in our
mm-hmm.
culture, where it's like, if I have more things that I'm dealing with, then that makes me, you know, like, where you can't say stuff about me because blank, you know. And
Yeah.
it's like, that you don't get to use that. And so it's like, where, because I have like a very like I'm very like a switch one way or the other. I have, where I have deep sympathy and empathy for people who really like are struggling through things, and but
Mm-hmm.
it's like, but at the moment that I feel like you are now starting to use that to manipulate me, that's when I'm
Oh,
like,
yep.
okay, you
Yep.
know what I mean? I'm like, no, you don't get to do that. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's how it kind of works for me usually. And so it's because I feel so deeply, I'm like, I'm not gonna take emotional manipulation like that very well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I naturally am thinking of that other person, for
Mm-hmm.
their best interest. So
Oh, very much so. Yeah. And yeah, like Rosie said, like again, at the end of the day, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We're not perfect, but
yeah. Yep.
we still need to be taking those steps towards trying to better ourselves and, just be a better person. Again, we're not going to be perfect, but as long as that's our goal, like again, like God calls us to be perfect. Not that he thinks we're ever going to hit that goal on this side of eternity, but because he calls us to challenge ourselves, to be better, to be more like him and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
And I believe you
yeah.
can do that even on this side of glory, so to speak,
Yeah.
because of the fact that it says that you can have a mind of like a mind like Christ. When you become saved, you literally are made like a new creation, according to Paul. Like you're like a
Mhm.
new thing. You're
Mhm.
not the old thing anymore. So I think those things can actually happen. Like I don't think. I guess the best way to say it is I don't think that Jesus would ever have told you to do something that you could never do, that you could
Mhm.
never actually achieve. So if he
Yeah.
says, in essence, to be perfect like I am perfect, I think you can head towards that. You just need him to do it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly. Yep.
but
Preach it, brother. And yeah,
so that was a dark one, but
well, again, like these are good. These are good to be like,
they are
these are the
good.
good, deep questions to be like hashing out and discussing and stuff, Because I feel like we don't talk about these things enough. And especially
No.
in our society, it's like, oh, you have trauma? Oh, you get a free pass. It's like, okay, well, no, let's dig deeper into this. Let's talk about this. Because yes, there's sympathy, but also we're still accountable to ourselves and all that jazz and stuff. But yeah, like Sel and
Yeah.
Rosie are saying, like, those who actually like have that trauma or have that struggle or whatever, like, yeah, like they don't want to stay there. They want to get better.
Yeah.
And sometimes those things will stick with us to the end of our days on this side of eternity. And that's okay. Like, as long as we're still striving to, it's like, I want to overcome this. I want to get better and stuff. Like, hey, that's good. That's healthy. That's an important mindset to be having. So, yeah.
Right.
And welcome back, Grace.
Yo, what's
Um,
up?
Yeah, let's go.
Zion.
I dropped into a very yes. Sorry, Grace.
Yeah.
we be dropping it like it's hot today.
Yeah, this particular one was needed some discussion, so.
I like that, Grace. I like that. It's an explanation, not an excuse.
Yes.
That's good. That's
yes.
good. I like that.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
we spitting. Everyone's
Well
spitting
summed
fire
up.
today. Whew. Let's go. All right. Hopefully this one's a little more chill.
Let's see. Give me another
Oh, gosh.
grabbing more than 4 chairs one.
Looking people up and down after being spoken to by them.
Oh, wait, what? Wait. You mean like sizing them up or?
I don't know. That's just what it says. Looking people up and down after being spoken to by them. It's almost like, yeah, like sizing them up or just like,
It's like a mean girl thing. Just like it's like you look at them and you like. It's like I see them with like the bent wrist, with their like newly done nails or something. They look you up and down. They're like, ew. It's what it makes me think of.
Oh wait, actually, yes, Rosie, that's a good. Okay, that's yours. Okay, Grace, I gotta know. Is this like judging you looking up and down, or like checking you out looking up and down?
Oh, true. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. No, you're right. Oh.
Rosie just pointed that out, like checking you out. I was with you. I was with like the mean girl, like, I don't know if you're worth my time. It's like, but what about that? It's like, oh my gosh.
Yo, I don't really do this. And if I did, it was like innocent. Like it's not like trying to drink the other person, so to speak. I don't know, like
Found me a tall glass of water.
yeah, like I mean that's kind of gross a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's kind of like,
yeah. The problem is because you can't you don't necessarily know the intent, but if you know the intent, then it's like, okay, that's yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
it's not green. I don't think it's green.
No, I would, yeah. Okay, Grace says, I can't really tell the difference, by the way, because expressions are so subtle, but lots of people look me up and down when I talk, and I'm like, why?
Okay. Wait,
That's
lots of people. Wait. That's an interesting. So lots of people, like people that you are like interested in, or just like grandma. Grandma is like doing because that could like, does it just mean that people are judging, or does it mean that maybe they just, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think, like, is there a
I don't
positive that this
know.
can ever be?
I don't think there's a positive. It's like, well,
It's like looking up and down is it's like that's an action. Like, it's not like just like your
yeah.
eyes just kind of going like from like, taking a whole person, and like that's an action of looking someone up and down, I feel like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I like what Volt said. It is being judged based on looks. Like, yeah, like, and especially it mentions like after being spoken to by them. It's like they're just like sizing you up. Just I don't know. It feels weird. It feels
And
icky.
because it's, I think spoken to is throwing me off a little bit, because I'm like, if it is spoken to, it
Not
makes me think of
grandma.
like when you do the pickup line or something, right? You come and it's just like, "Hey girl, did you fall from heaven, or are you an angel? Because you look like you fell from heaven." Then looks you up and down. It's like,
I was about to take a sip of water. I'm so glad I stopped. But it's like, yeah, it's either like, I don't know. It just feels icky. I don't know
yeah.
how else to describe it, but it
I'm
just
gonna say
feels icky.
beige for me. I think that's
Yeah, I'm gonna put it further down. Not the pickup line hood.
not the pickup line. I have a story about that. We'll wait for that. We'll wait and see if there's a pickup line one flag, because I got a story for that one.
I love cheesy pickup lines. Y'all, if you do !cheesy in chat, you will also get a cheesy pickup line.
Yo, wait, really? I want to try. Wait, say that again.
Yeah. !cheesy.
Exclamation mark.
Okay, yeah, Tree says
Cheesy.
looking people up and down, creepy always. That's fair. Also, Coco, welcome in, hun. If beauty were time, you'd be eternity.
Hey. Yo, Charlie, risen me up a little bit. Okay.
Charlie, where are you? Why are you raising people up in my chat? How dare?
Yeah, I don't. It's definitely. I don't see a place where this is green, but it's like it definitely could be like a. Maybe there was a misunderstanding, maybe. But if it becomes like a habit, that's a little weird.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Weird.
okay. Thank you for that, Grace. I scrolled up here. Maximum says, honestly, I can understand it's a red flag, but people just check people out naturally. You can attribute malice to it, but it's so normalized in our culture that I don't even notice it anymore. That's fair. And
Yeah,
like what
I
Grace
think it's
said,
the intentionality.
yeah, it's like, what's the intention behind it? Is it like, ugh, actually, I don't know that.
Well, and I meant like the intentionality of like of actually doing the looking up and down, because like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like kind of going off of maximums. It's like naturally people are like, in essence, I don't know a better way of saying this, so you'll just have to take what I'm saying. But like naturally people check each other out when they're like interested in them, right? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
like that happens.
Yeah.
But when you are intentionally talking to the person and you look them up and down,
Like,
that's
don't do
just
that.
that's kind of weird. I don't know. Like,
Like,
it's
if
just
if it is someone that you're like, oh, I'm interested, and you're checking them out, do it subtly, guys and gals. You can do it. You can do it
right.
without them
Yeah,
noticing.
exactly.
You can do it without them noticing. It's fine. It's just
Yeah.
don't. It is very, yes, true. It's very weird. It's very weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. I think it's like, cuz it's hard to not look at it as like a superficial thing, very just physical. I think
Yeah.
that's like, there's no way that this is just like, well, I was looking up and down cuz I was trying to look into your soul. You know, that personality, you know what I'm saying? That
It's like
personality is really attractive on you.
it's just like the whole like my eyes are up here kind of thing.
Yeah, I
That's
mean, it
the
does
vibe it's
feel
giving me. It's
yeah.
like my eyes are up here, please. It's like just anyway.
Yeah. I think beige. That's me. It's not an immediate red flag, but I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it lower down. I'm gonna put it lower down on the beige. So all
Yeah.
right. There we go. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Surely we won't have any more like intense ones.
Yeah.
We need some green flags, guys. Come on.
Yeah, come on, let me see them.
Oh no. Okay. Well, I think this one will be a little bit easier in a sense, because we kind of already talked about something similar to this.
Yeah.
Anger issues or easily triggered.
that's like immediate red flag because then now it's not
Yeah.
even trauma based. Now it's just
Yeah.
like you just have anger issues. Like
Yeah.
that's nuclear red flag. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think.
And again, if someone has anger issues and they're working to better themselves and stuff, this is something that can move into beige because you're dealing with the issue. However, straight up red. Just straight up
Yeah,
red. I
yeah.
just, yeah, again, for any of us who grew up in homes with people with anger issues, yep, it's nope. That's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was
And I
easy.
think that's all that needs to be said at that point
I
for
think
the
so
most
too.
part.
I'm just gonna check it right over there and we're good.
Yep.
Maximum says, if you don't have patience or chill, I'm not dealing with you. I don't care if they're even dealing with it. I don't do mistreatment anymore.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yep.
but barely. Yeah, Grace, exactly. But barely. Thanks for the lurks, Ambassador. Okay, well, that was fast. Moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Heidi's all red. Treats waiters like servants.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh.
that's
See,
an ick for me.
so my granny used to work in a restaurant as a waitress, and that would happen to her. Unfortunately too, she said it was oftentimes people who had just come from church, and
It is.
those would
It is.
they act like they're better than you, and it's
Yeah.
like I don't know if it's like people like getting off of their own work or whatever. They feel like they want to have power over somebody else, but they would
Mm-hmm.
make her just do ridiculous stuff like, oh, my coffee is just like a degree too cold. I need it a little hotter, even though it was like steaming, like that type of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
It almost.
that sucks.
Yeah. It's. It almost seemed like because I've worked customer service and in the food industry and stuff, and I would sometimes work Sundays. I usually requested not to work Sundays, but again, at the end of the day, sometimes I get called in because someone was sick or they needed help and stuff, and I felt I would be doing more of a disservice to the Lord if I saw my brother in need and said no, and instead went to
Yeah.
church or whatever. Like again, I'd still you can find time to go to church. You can still read your Bible. You can pray and worship while you're still at work. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it almost felt like not only were they just being rude and whatever because they were tired, but it almost felt like they were judging you too for not having been at church. Like, oh, you're working, you're not a good Christian or you're not a good person. It's like,
Which is wild
okay,
if that's
time
true.
out.
That's
Yeah, it's
wild if
like
that's true.
some people go to church on Saturday because they have to work Sunday. Like, is anyway, sorry, I could this makes me mad. I got shunned so much by a couple people in my church being like, why would you work a Sunday? I'm like, because they needed help. Well, they can find someone else. They could, or I'm probably the last one on the list because they knew that I work Sunday. So I was their last resort. So they get to me. And it's like,
And here's the
love.
funny thing, right? Well, so it's like, oh, they could have found somebody else. So that way when you come in, you can judge them for not being in church. Like that's not the problem. That's not the issue
Oh,
here.
yeah. And
My
Grace,
gosh.
it's totally okay. No, 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 Grace, it's totally okay, hon. It's totally okay. They just again, these got shuffled weird. Hi, Charlie. These got shuffled weird. We do have green flags, guys. I promise. We do have green flags. Look at
Yeah, yeah,
this.
yeah,
Like, there's
yeah.
even like some that technically could be green flags, but because we like are both of us like to play the devil's advocate, they're more in beige flags. So it's
Yeah. I
okay.
really like a lot of our beige flags ones because they're like
Yeah.
they were good talking points. Because it's like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, I could see one way or another maybe. So
Like,
so having them clean and cut is not always as interesting, but like
mhm.
it still is like it's still nice to have those sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Like we have Goes to Church in beige flag, and we talked about that. Go check out the VOD if you're wondering, like, why is that in beige flag? Go check out the VOD. It's
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Don't worry
yeah.
about it. Then they don't tip and hand out tracks of like, oh, tree, that ticks me off so much. Cause people, Charlie, you're in front of the mic, honey. Oh, I didn't give her her treat. That's probably why she's mad at me.
Oh yeah, those tree. Yeah, that sucks, bro.
Oh,
That
it's
sucks.
okay, Charlie, come here. I will give you a treat in a bit. I just need you to just chill for a second, okay? We'll talk about this and then I'll go give you a treat. I'll leave the mic for Hood. But yeah, it's like, okay, one, you're coming in on a Sunday so that you don't have to work, but somebody else has to work. Two, they're like working minimum wage and need their tips. What the heck? Why did that?
Huh?
Oh, Automod's being dumb. Can I get a mod to wait, was he timed out? I hope not.
Oh,
I tip generously. It's just wise not to piss people off that can spit in your food or drink. Okay, yeah, no, like, what the heck, Automod? I didn't have that on there. What the heck? Whatever. Anyway, that's what was said, and yeah, I agree. Like, don't don't do that. But it's like they're also working minimum wage, so tips is kind of what they rely on. And
Yeah.
by you, just because you give someone a quote unquote Bible track or Christian piece of paper, whatever, that doesn't mean you get to go home and check off like, oh, I told someone about Jesus. I left this here. And
No,
it's
no,
like,
because that's doing the exact opposite. No,
it is.
you give those when you decide you're going to be extremely generous. Then you hand those with that if you're going to
Mhm.
do that.
Yeah.
That's when it's done the best because now it's like, holy crap, this person just gave me like a $50 tip or whatever for like a
Mm-hmm.
glass of water or whatever, I don't know, whatever they had.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
like, and then it's like then they have the track with it and it's like, that sends a different message. My granny though even had, I think it was her, where they would just leave like pennies. It's like, why did you tip at all? That was just to insult. That was
Yeah.
literally all you did. It's like,
Yeah.
what is your problem?
Yeah. It's just, ugh.
Red flag.
Red flag. Red flag.
Red flag.
Very much red flag. It's
I
like,
can't believe these filthy peasants are here working while we went to church.
how dare you not go to church? But also, if you weren't here, you wouldn't be able to serve me. It's just like, oh my gosh. Like, what the heck?
Oy. Yeah, that sucks.
Having worked in customer service and the food industry,
Yeah.
just, people can be nasty. Christian and non-Christian can just be nasty people. It's awful.
Yeah.
I hate it. Be
Unfortunately.
nice to people. Like,
Mm.
do to others as you would have them do to you. Just like, why are we not considering that option? It's like, "Meh."
Yeah.
Ugh.
Boy.
Anyway, moving on. Obviously greatly dislikes the opposite sex. Okay, when I first read this, I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why are you dating that person then? Let me share something with you guys. I once had a girlfriend who, like a friend, female friend, girl, who hated men. She had she had a bone to pick with any male she bumped into. And she had a boyfriend.
Huh.
And he was very much like, very feministic, very much like, yeah, you go
Okay.
girl and stuff like that. So he fed into that. And I'm like, you're not helping the problem, buddy. And it
Interesting.
made me so sad because yeah, she had gotten like she had all this trauma of like her dad abandoned her and her mom, and then her mom got taken advantage of by all these different men in like different industries and trying to live life.
Mm,
So it's like, I get that. But also,
yeah.
they are not those men that screwed you over in the past. Like, they're not your dad. Like, no,
Yeah.
stop it. Get some help. And we eventually had to part ways because it got very unhealthy. And to the point where we couldn't even hang out with my guy friends anymore because there was always something to pick apart or some hate speech to go off of. And then my guy friends were like, okay, well, I don't feel comfortable anymore. And it's like, that's fair because that's not okay. And it's,
Yeah.
so this
That
is
is
possible. You can still have a boyfriend or girlfriend and still hate that gender or like strongly dislike
Yeah.
anyway.
I feel like this is more of an ideological issue more so because the fact that in her case that she still had a boyfriend, and I know that guys that are the opposite way, like they have girlfriends, it's like
Mm-hmm.
that's usually due to some form of feminism or masculism type of ideology getting
Mm-hmm.
injected into them. So it's like they're not able to go against what they're kind of for lack of a better term created to be, which is like, oh yeah, I want a boyfriend, but it's like but I just like it's conflicting messaging, right? It's like I hate
Mm-hmm.
men but yet I have a boyfriend, or I hate women but I have a wife, but it usually comes with this, I think, mentality of this sort of, I hate them so long as they aren't like unless they are like some form of subservient to me in some way, then it's like kind of okay. Like it makes me think of like the guy that's just like, yeah, all women are good for is being in the kitchen and making me a sandwich, like one of those types of things. That's what it
Yeah.
makes me think of. Um,
Oh man.
yeah, that's pretty cut
Yeah,
and dry.
that's
Again.
yeah, that's very much, yeah,
I couldn't be around somebody like that. I'd get
no.
it
It,
would upset me very quickly. So
Yeah, and it's yeah. I'm just gonna say that's a red flag. I think we can all agree that's a red flag, and that's something that they're gonna have to work through. Because again, like Maxim said, like I get where it comes from. I used to be very bitter like this, but you have to get over that hurt. Otherwise, you are just hating people for no reason. Exactly. It's like the
Yeah.
whole like racism thing. It's like, okay, yes, you may have gotten like had a bad experience with someone of that race, but that doesn't mean everyone's the same way. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So anyway, I just yeah, Arthur, not all men or women are the same. Just because someone did something to you in the past doesn't mean the others will do the same. Exactly. Exactly. So it's like, uh anyway,
Yeah.
it's just it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate because it's like anyway, I digress. We'll
Yeah.
move on.
I mean, it's like there's almost like not much more to say because it's so
Yeah. It's just
obvious, but
yeah. All right, moving on. Uh this sounds interesting. I'm curious about your thoughts on this one. Very passionate about an issue you are on the opposite side of.
oh wait, okay, wait. Very passionate about an issue you are on the opposite. So like
So opposing opinions on an issue.
so they're very passionate about an opposing opinion.
Mhm. I agree,
Depends on the
Maximum.
opinion.
Very much so.
Depends
Very
depends on what we're talking about, I guess, because like I love bantering back and forth with people
Mhm.
over stuff like that. Like, like I think this movie's awesome, and they're like, that movie sucks. And I'm like, oh, we're about ready to have it out. But,
Ah,
the more it becomes more things that matter, like things like uh, you know, worldview and politics or just your belief
yeah.
system in general. Now it's well, yeah, that's kind of red flag because it's like unequally yoked at that point, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
Very much depends
so
on what the issue is. And like Arthur says, I mean, that is not a red flag if they are respectful of you and your opinion. Yeah, see, that's the thing.
so it's still a red flag for me in terms of a relationship because
Yeah.
if it's something that is more about your worldviews, for instance, um, I think even then even if they're respectful of you and your opinion, that's still like they in many cases are going to fundamentally oppose you in a lot of decision
Mhm.
making and stuff
Mhm.
like that, right? um this would be see like and there's certain things that I think people wouldn't be able to have necessarily quote unquote respect for and just be able to let slide. I think there would be certain things that you will butt heads on depending on what it is that you're talking about. For something that's like something of a concern but just isn't as deep as you could maybe get,
Mhm.
would be like the difference between someone who agrees with spanking kids and another one that doesn't agree with spanking
Mm.
them at all.
Yeah.
And so that's something I like. I don't know if one side or the other can say, "Well, I respect that you don't do that, and I'm gonna just let
Yeah.
you do it or not do it." It's like because you're usually, especially if you're very passionate about it,
Mhm.
that's not gonna, you know,
That's
that
not gonna
doesn't,
go
I don't
well.
think, go away. Yeah.
Yeah, like Tree said, probably less of a red flag than it is a deal breaker. Yeah, again,
Mm.
it depends. And hold on, I was like, oh, my scroll wheel is. I need a new mouse, guys. I really need a new mouse. Where did it go? Heron Club Dog says cats versus dogs or salvation issues. Like those are two very, very different
Yeah.
issues on like this spectrum of like how important they are. Like cats versus dogs, whatever.
That's
Like
just funny.
it is funny, and also like that might affect like if you guys want to get a pet later, and you're like, I like cats, well I like dogs, well I don't like cats, well I don't like dogs. Like that's very menial. That's very small in the grand scheme of things. Whereas like you marry someone who's like, okay, I want to take our kids to church. Oh well, I don't think we should take our kids to church, huh?
Yeah,
And then it's like,
exactly.
okay, that's going to affect things in the long run immensely. So,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
oh, okay. Grace has an add-on question for this. Additional question. How would you address the issue jointly should it come up when you're married slash have kids? Because that would be a big factor. Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
mean, so you're saying you're already married? Is that what I'm understanding, and have kids, that type of thing?
possibly.
Because if it's meant to be taken that way, I'm more of a traditionalist, and it's like if you made a covenant with someone,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of did make a covenant with somebody, and
Yeah.
so um that's something that you now are, in essence, I don't like to word it that way, but you are then forced to work out with them. That's
Mm-hmm.
just that's how I view it, but it's because I view marriage very, very seriously. I don't view it
Mm-hmm.
as just like something that you can get in and out of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, in other words, those are, like you said, if it happens to be that that comes up and you forgot to talk about it or it just somehow
Oh
never came
gosh.
up, that's a thing. But it's like those are things to me that should be, you should discuss all the things that are very important to you
Yeah.
ahead of time. But
Yeah. This is, guys, this is just a reminder. This is why you shouldn't rush into marriage. Like, you need to have these conversations. You need to have, and again, like, they're not fun. They're uncomfortable. Like, obviously you don't jump right into some of the big things like your second date or whatever. But there's things that you need to talk about eventually and should hopefully do, I don't know, sooner rather than later. I don't know. But
right.
just to give an example, my mom had a friend years back when I have 6 siblings, but at that time there was just 3 of us, and my parents took us to go visit their friends, and so my dad and his friend were off talking somewhere else, and my mom and her friend were hanging out with us kids, and this woman was just like over the moon excited, just loving getting to hang out with us little kids. Like, she just loved kids, and I think she was pregnant at the time, and
Mm,
or no, she had her own little one at that point. And so we were just all hanging out, and she was like, "Oh, she's like, I just love that you have multiple kids and they can play with each other and this and that and stuff." And mom's like, "Oh, like, you still got time. Like, you're still young. You just had your first baby. Like, you can have more." And this lady immediately like stops and just starts sobbing and shares
mm,
with my mom, he only wants one. He doesn't want any
mm,
more kids. And it's like,
yeah,
"Oh, girly, did you not talk about," and I mean, people can change their mind, in which
they
case,
can. Yeah.
then you kinda have to figure that out and navigate it as you go. But if
Yeah.
you didn't have that conversation beforehand, "Oh, honey, that sucks."
Yep. Yeah, and so like, and I feel like too, like, kind of like what is it? Grace, Zion's Grace? Is
Yep,
that
yeah,
right? Okay,
you got
it's
it.
like what Grace was saying with, you know, if you're dating for marriage, you should plan for these things, right? It's like I know a lot of people when they are like dating, they're like, well, there's certain questions you don't want to ask right up front. I'm like, I'm kind of more on the idea of like, why waste your time? Just like
Mhm.
get some of those things kind of up front, and there's tactful ways of doing it, but it's like
Yeah.
you shouldn't just be typically dating just to date unless it is very, and again, it's like to some degree it's like then what's kind of the point, but unless it's very strictly stated that this is just like a one-time thing, I just wanted to have fun with somebody, you want to go out, and it's just like, yeah, sure, whatever. But like in the typical way that things work, if you're dating somebody, you shouldn't just be dating and like hoping, you should be dating with the intention of marrying that person, right? Or I guess we would call that courting, I guess technically.
I guess technically, yeah, 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 with the thoughts of or intention of
Yeah.
marriage and stuff. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So it's like, why get yourself attached to somebody and all this different stuff if you didn't talk about these things ahead of time? It's like that's kind of stuff if you like have diametrically opposing views of the world,
Mhm.
that's good to know right away, because why are you gonna let you? Because the more you get attached to them, the more you're gonna try to start justifying, and then you end up in situations like what you just said, where it's just like, oh yeah, well they only wanted one, and even though I wanted like 15 or whatever, it's like yeah, that's rough now. And now you're just in this now, and so
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I
So
very, yeah, I agree with that. That's a good point. Um, it's respectful to both sides to talk about it straight up first off so you don't waste time. Okay.
exactly.
Y'all,
Yeah.
sorry. I have to share a dating story, guys. This
Oh,
it
let's get the tea. Let's
it
get the
it
tea.
kind of goes along with this, just with the whole like straight up talking and having those conversations. So I tried online dating. It sucked. Just straight up, it sucked.
Mm,
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. I years back, I tried eHarmony, which I don't know if I'd recommend it or not. But I matched with a guy and we had like good chats and stuff. And we moved to email because neither of us wanted to pay premium because it was an arm and a leg to pay premium. And so we moved to email. So we just emailed back and forth. And then we finally met for coffee. And y'all, this man literally only talked about the things we had already talked about in email. I didn't learn anything new about this man during our date.
mm.
And I went home and I was like, I don't know, actually, do any other girls do this where you plan a date but you got your girlfriends kind of like show up later as a group or already there as a group, and they're just kind of like off to the side, just making sure like that nothing bad happens when it's like your first date or whatever. Anybody else do that? 'Cause
I've heard of it.
we definitely did that. But again, it was like a safety thing. Like we just wanted to make sure that everybody was safe. So we do that anytime someone went on a new date. Like not to be like sitting there and be like, ooh, and listening in, but just like sitting to like the other side of the building just to make sure, like, okay, if something happens, we can get up and be like, excuse me, sir. Or
Yeah.
just anyway. So he gets up and leaves, and I walk over to the table, and the girl's like, so how was it? Like, how'd it go? And I'm like, I don't know. Like he literally, and I don't know if it was just nerves or what, but he literally just regurgitated everything that we'd already talked about in email. And so I was just kind of sitting there, like never asked me any other questions, just always like kept referring to like what we'd already talked about in our email exchanges and stuff. And so I just kind of sat there. I'm like, well, this is just kind of weird. Like I didn't learn anything new about you. I tried to share new things about myself, but I got nothing out of this guy. And I was like, it's kind of hard to have these conversations if they're not willing to open up and talk about these things. You know, it's just, anyway,
Yeah.
that a little bit of a
Now,
side
now
note.
what I'm interested in is, did you ever try to bring up another topic and then he diverted back to topics you've already talked about? Did that happen?
Every time I try and then we just like sit there awkwardly because I'm like, okay, like conversation back and forth. I don't want to keep bringing up like conversation. And like, I don't want to be carrying this conversation. Like it needs to be like a two-way thing. Cause it's like, and I get it. People are nervous. I was nervous at the start. And then I was just kind of like, I feel like I'm the one running this conversation. And it just kind of felt more like, anyway.
Yeah,
But yeah.
that's crazy. Like I just imagine it just imagine it being just like, so do you like the country or the city more? And it's like, well, that's kind of interesting because that stems back to why my favorite color is yellow. And going back into something like that.
It was
It's
literally
like
like that. And I was like, oh,
it's
buddy.
and then never actually answering the question.
Oh. So this was also
Yo.
so the same guy who after that I'm like, okay, well, I'm not sure. Like we still like communicated, but not as much. And then he's like, hey, I'm coming back to the city. Like, can we meet for coffee? I'm like, yeah, sure. And this was our second time meeting in person. And this man came with a giant gift bag. And again, our conversation was again just the email stuff. And I'm like, okay, like I'm trying. And he's I feel this is TMI. I'm sorry, guys, but he's just like, so how do you feel about us? How do you feel about us? And I'm like, well, I'm not feeling anything. So I'm fine to if you're okay with just being friends, but I'm not feeling anything more than that. And he's like, oh, he pauses. He's like, I brought you a gift. Whips out this big giant
Ooh.
gift bag. Like, no,
Ooh.
like that's where you like just gracefully accept and like, okay, well, thank you anyway. And just no, this man whips out this giant gift bag, and I'm like, no,
Pain.
guys. I may be a people pleaser, but I did not cave. I did not cave. I'm like, I don't know what you were expecting. When he's like,
Pain. Okay, look, to play devil's advocate for
Yeah,
him, it could have been like I already got this,
yeah.
so here you go. I hope he stated that. If he didn't state that and he just was like, what do you think now? Then it's like, no.
Like
But
he didn't say it, but he was looking at me like, eh? And I'm like,
no,
thank
no,
you. I'm like, are you
no.
sure? Guys, it gets better. It gets better. He's like, yeah, go ahead and open it. I'm like, oh gosh, like I have to open this. We're sitting in the middle of Tim Hortons. I'm like, oh, I've already turned you down, and now you're making me open this gift. Oh my gosh. So also welcome in line. Good to see you, hon.
That's good.
So then I'm going through this gift bag, and like he got this, and it was they were nice gifts. They were nice gifts. Like he got me this pretty artwork painting that had like a verse on it. I forget what the second thing was, but the third thing was he got me like wow hits, whatever that year was or the year before. It wasn't wrapped, guys. He's like, yeah, I listened to it all the way up here.
Oh man. Oh.
I'm like, oh, did you know? He's like, yep, pretty good stuff on there.
Oh. I hate dating, dude. I hate it. It's such a
too.
sucky process.
Guys, that was my last date for a long time. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can tell you about my other date, but we're gonna keep going with the. I'll tell you guys about my other date next time because it was just as bad, and that was the same year. And I was like, I was trying, guys. I was trying. It's hard. Dating is hard. It's just,
Yeah.
oh man, just.
And I mean, like, I've done dumb stuff too, so it's like, it mostly just makes me feel bad. Just
Yeah.
hurts.
And
It's
again,
like,
it's like
oh.
I'm not trying to shame the guy, but it was just,
Ugh.
oh, buddy, and like
Yeah. Yeah.
what was it? Because we'd already added each other on Facebook at that point. Within a month, he was already like in a relationship with someone else, so he was fine. He was fine. So
Yeah.
just he needed a special someone.
Oh, wow.
Oh man.
Dang. That's crazy.
I don't agree with it, but I understand why some culture arrange things. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's maybe
Yeah.
3 people in my family that I would trust to arrange a marriage for me, and it's only 3. And I don't think any of them would because they're like, no, like you need to decide your own. It's like, but I trust you, and dating's hard, and I hate it so much.
Yeah, and like coming from like a guy's perspective too, I'm like it's kind of rough when you're the guy because you're like
Oh, very
trying to
much
find that
so.
balance between like pursuing and also just being too much,
Yeah,
And
it's
so it's like, it's like, well, I know what you said. I know you said you don't see us in a relationship and that this could never work and that you're totally actually done now. But how about, it's like, here's a gift basket. It's like,
It's
I don't know.
guys. Okay, so just recently we watched Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas over on Discord for Christmas movie night, which if you want to join us again this Saturday, come join us. I'll post times in the Discord, but it was a lot of fun. But I just think back to what is it like what's her face? She had a crush on the Grinch or whatever, and the mayor had like a big crush on her, and he's like, it's like, I have a gift for you. Will you marry me? And she's like, oh, he's like, but wait, there's more. You can also be the proud new owner of a new car. And it's like, huh? Like, what do you mean? It's
Oy. Pain. So much pain.
Yep.
That's when the girl should give some to and say what they like/don't, so you can pursue the way she likes to. Yeah, I think that would help. I think that would help a lot of guys. As if it was like if you were getting like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, hints in the right direction or something like that. But
yeah. Well, that's
um,
I'm all for what is it? Well, I guess this is before you get into dating, but they have these like, well, back in Bible college, they called them DTRs, define the relationship conversations. But just yeah,
yeah, well, because it's like, and because like again, I'm thinking from a guy's perspective, it's like, at what point is it confidence and at what point is it creepy? It's like for some guys, it can be probably hard to find that, and it takes a lot of like social astuteness to kind of feel that out, and
yeah,
which is why on the other hand, so you have that side of the spectrum where guys can be kind of goofy and dumb, but then on the other side when it's like girls trying to give hints and it's just like I've literally like went up to him and said I like you, and he's just like, oh hey, that's cool, man, I like you too, I'm glad we're good friends.
like
It's
you too,
like,
bro.
yeah, you too, bro. Yeah, it's that same thing. It's like guys are just kind of that way. I don't know.
Oh man, it's just yep. Oh my gosh.
But anyway, yeah, this one, like, I don't know, where would you put it? Because it's like,
Oh
it
yeah,
really
back
is
to our back to our flag. Sorry, I completely
Yeah.
forgot what we were talking about beforehand. I think again, I'm going to be jumping back to like my English classes and stick with certain keywords. Very passionate about an issue. So it's like, I don't know. I would lean it more towards red just because
Yeah,
I don't really see cats versus dog as an issue. It's just a preference.
correct.
Whereas an issue of like, okay, this
It's
is
an
this is
opinion.
causing. Yeah, exactly. Like this I see this as this is causing an issue in our relationship because we have very
Yeah.
differing opinions on it. So I would put it in red.
Yeah, I think you've swayed me. I'm gonna say red too then, yeah, because I think issue is the key word, so.
Yeah. So again, I'm just trying to pick at it as much as I can because again, like some of these are very vague, so we could go on for hours. But for me, it boils down to yeah, it's an issue. It's not just a preference; it's an issue. Also, thank you for the hydrate, Dr. K. Sippy sip.
Oh, sick. Thanks.
So anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're just I'll put it near the top along with. Whoops, I didn't show my screen, guys. Sorry, I put it near the top along with easily triggered because again, like if it's a small issue that can lead it towards being beige flags, or if you guys are open to having that conversation, and because again, relationships are about compromise, not like compromise in the sense of
Mm.
like your well-being or your safety's at risk, but
Yeah.
say I don't know, like
City and country is a good one, I think, because it's like you like living out in the country or something. They like
yes.
living out in the city, and it's like, okay, maybe we can find a compromise. Like maybe it's not as important to me as it is to you, or something like that, right?
Yeah,
That type of
exactly.
thing.
Like
So
it's and then yeah, at that point you have to decide like, okay, like is this person worth the compromise? Which if you're already married at that point, you gotta figure that out. You gotta deal with that.
yeah,
But still, it's like compromise happens. Like heck, even if you're like, I want to have tacos for lunch. Well, I wanted to have pizza for lunch. Okay, let's find a compromise. Like
yeah.
is yeah. Anyway, it's like
Man, I would be
there's
the easiest to compromise in food. I literally don't care if it's like I would eat anything. I'm straight up Kirby. I don't care.
yes. Oh my gosh. I see that's the problem I often ran into with my friends and whatnot is everyone's like, what do you want to eat? Oh, it doesn't matter. What do you want to eat? Oh, it doesn't matter. And then no one decides what they want to eat. And we're sitting there and I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm getting hangry. I need someone to decide. So then
See, I would be. Go ahead, finish what you're saying. I'm
so
sorry.
then I'd be like, oh, let's do this. And like, oh yeah, why didn't you say so? I'm like, because I was trying to be nice and let you guys pick because I keep picking because nobody wants to pick. Anyway,
See,
carry on.
the way that I would handle those situations is I would be like, "What do you want to eat?" I don't really care. You go ahead and pick." And I'm taking that and I'm running with it. And so if you don't like
Yep.
what I pick, tough nuggets because you told me to pick. That's how I treat it. I'm like, I don't play games, okay? It's like, but if I'm asking you, I mean that I
Yep.
literally don't care. So,
Yep.
tell me or forever hold your peace. That's basically how that's gonna work.
There you go, friends. There you go. He's a wise man. He's a wise man, y'all.
If you want to get upset about them, too bad. You're eating your chicken nuggets now. Eat them.
Oh my gosh. Yep. It's yep. Have her guess where you're going and agree with the response. Hey, yes, I've seen that before. I've seen that. I'm like, how do you deal with like an indecisive girlfriend? It's like a guy's like, I got you, gentlemen. Be like, oh, I'm gonna take you somewhere. Like, oh, where are we going? Like, I don't know what I want to eat. It's like, oh, well, then I will decide. It's like, oh, where are we going? I want you to guess. And she's like, oh, this? He's like, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen
Oh,
those memes and stuff
it's
too. That's
so
actually pretty
good.
smart, not gonna lie.
Oh man. Yes, Lion. Yes, I will never say no to chicken nuggets. Yes. There's a lot of things that I'll never say no to though. So I'm
Can't,
very easy to please. I'm just like, just feed me and I'll be happy.
can't lose with chicken nuggets.
Exactly, right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, there's just food is just amazing. There's so many good foods out there. So many different anyway, a bit of a foodie. Don't worry about it, guys. It's fine. All right. Well, we decided that. Moving on.
Moving on.
Extremely into politics.
Ah, okay. Interesting. This depends again, kind of, right? Because it depends on define the word extremely, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you are extremely passionate about certain issues and therefore you have strong morality because of that or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good. I think you should stand up for those things. I think
Mm-hmm.
people, especially a lot of Christians, don't stand up for things.
Uh-huh.
And this is why we have bad politics a lot of times, is because they're like, oh, we shouldn't do those things. We should just, pray about it. And it's like, no, sometimes you got to stand up for what you believe in. But I also know people who are so into politics they can talk about nothing else and it starts to turn them bitter and hateful and
Mm-hmm.
mean. And so I guess that depends if we're assuming that doesn't happen and they're
Mm-hmm.
extremely into politics in terms of that they are intimately interested in the things of the world and they care about them because they care about other people and they care about issues that affect people and morality and culture and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a green flag personally. But if they are someone who's the other side of that, that's an immediate red flag. So it's like This is such a polarized one for me, I think.
I honestly, I was immediately leaning towards beige because yeah, it depends. It could be like, I'm really into politics because I want to be involved. I want to be aware of what's happening and I want to support this government and stuff like that. Like, that's good that you're being active and that is good. Whereas extremely into politics in the other sense of like, I don't know, just like off the deep end with like obnoxious in your face. This is why your politics are wrong, or this is why my politics are right and stuff. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
calm down. Like, woo, it's just,
So, and again, I think if you're saying extremely, right, that
yeah,
comes across to me like that every conversation has to somehow go back to politics. I don't think
yeah,
that. Okay, that would get
hmm
annoying after a
and
while because
that
it's
would,
like
yeah,
because we live in a world now where everything is hyper political and it's like everything has to
yeah,
be political. I don't think that has to be the case.
yeah,
So, but I also think that, you should care about things. I think that's important.
mm-hmm. Oh, very much
People
so, yeah,
always because people always say that, politics and religion are the two things you don't ever talk about. And I'm like, I don't know. I kind of think those are the two things we should talk about a little bit more
yeah,
because that's why we're in the situation we're in. But that doesn't mean that, I'm watching The Nightmare Before Christmas and I have to be like, see, this is why Jack Skellington's actually a communist because, see, he's just like, like, I don't think you don't have to go that route with every little thing. So I think I'd agree with you. Yeah, I think beige is probably again because it's deterministic. It's got to be,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I think it depends on the situation and the person and whatever. So
That's true.
I,
That's true. I'm going to include this next one just like into it as well before we have already kind of decided this one, but this next one goes with it. We have this one extremely into politics. The one after it is hates politics. So
mm,
again, I think that's another beige flag in a sense of, do they hate like politics, like they don't want to be involved in it at all, or they hate like the toxicity of politics and just kind of generalize it as like, I hate
right.
politics. It's messy and bleh. So
Yeah, so this is one too. So like if the other one is kind of more firmly beige, this is more beige red for me because
yeah,
hating
I would agree.
politics, that starts to be somebody like in my mind anyway, someone who's kind of just like, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to, get into
Yeah.
anything. And that's okay. That's where I'm kind of like, okay, but that's not, especially in like if you're in a relationship with somebody, it's like, you
Mhm.
want them to have their own opinions
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
you know, I don't know. So that's to me when you start heading toward the territory of just, I just want to stay out of everything. And that's personally not very attractive to me, but,
Mhm.
it's more just I just want you to have a firm stance on things and like, if somebody's like saying that something that is objectively very wrong is happening that you can put your foot down and be like, I don't think that that's right that that's happening, or whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you got to talk about it every 2 seconds, but
Yeah,
yeah. So,
exactly. Like that's fair. That's fair.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to like jump through and see. Um so I like your comment. It's better to be informed and understanding of what's going on, not take in too much and overwhelm understanding. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's a nice
Mm,
balance of that.
yeah.
Why do you think I wear red, comrade? Santa, probably. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, dang, Santa is a commie. He just giving all these gifts to kids all over for free.
My gosh.
Man, I never thought of it that way.
Oh no. The conspiracy theories are going to spiral out of control now, Hood. Come
He
back to
makes
us,
all the
Hood.
elves work for nothing. He makes them work for nothing. It's a sweatshop.
Hood,
Oh, it
come
all makes
back.
sense now.
Come back to us, Hood. Come back. Guys, quick, pull him out of the hole. He's gonna go too far.
I'm like that guy from what's that? Is it Brooklyn Nine? Whatever. But the guy with like the cork board and he's got all the
Oh my
stuff for the
gosh,
conspiracy and he's
yes.
like freaking out. He's like tweaking. That's what that makes me think.
Oh. Arthur says, I mean, I hate politics, but I don't mind someone that is into politics. That's fair. That's fair. And again, guys, like
Yeah.
these are just this is just our take on it. So take it with a grain of salt. It's by
Yeah.
no mean meant to bash anybody. This is just like, these are our hot
Yeah.
takes, so to speak. I should have named it hot takes instead of morning monologues.
I have a whole thing which I've only done one episode so far, but on my channel over on YouTube, I have hoodless hot takes. So
There you
I have a
go.
ton lined up. I just haven't done yet, but that's my thing is I like having hot takes with stuff. But yeah, I think there's that. I just think you should have a healthy political appetite. That's probably the best way to say it. That you just you care about things, but they don't. It doesn't have to be your whole personality, your whole life. You just have things that you think are important. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's fair.
anyway.
Hi, Charlie. Charlie says hi, everybody. If I sound muffled, it's because she's in front of my mic.
Also, what type of politics? I guess it depends. I guess it depends on what you're talking about, but I'm thinking more in the general spectrum of things. But
that's fair. Hood, can I leave you to man chat and stream for a second? I need to go feed Charlie. She's getting very grumpy with me. So I will
yeah,
I'll be right
sure.
back, friends.
Yeah.
Listen to Hood, mods, help Hood out if he needs help.
All right, cool. Is she gone? Yes, now we can take over. It's time to take over Cat's channel. Yes. All right, here we go. Hey, Danger, what's going on, yo? It's us. What's up, man? We're talking about red flags, yo. Talking about people that are extremely into politics versus people that hate politics in this case. We just kind of did them side by side. But yeah, I think it does depend. I think it depends on, what exactly I think it just depends on how somebody uses politics in their everyday life. If they're becoming extremely, like, again, like where it's just becoming every conversation. Because sometimes I just want to talk about, I don't know, the weather. I mean, for lack of a better situation. But it's like, it doesn't have to, not everything has to be crazy. But if you have no opinions on anything like that, then that's kind of like, it's kind of the idea that if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for everything, I guess is what I mean. So,
Amen.
Oh, she's back. Yeah. So anyway.
What did I miss?
Nothing at all. We right, guys?
All I see is Lion with her spray bottle. Lion, good job. I'm proud of you.
Hey! You were supposed to be on our side. What are you doing?
No. Lion is one of my
Grace was with
women.
me. Arthur was with me. Come on, guys.
I need somebody to be sane amongst all the chaos. Danger! Hey, friend, how's it going?
Yeah, Danger's in here.
Yeah.
Lion, you don't snitch on me. Don't snitch. How dare you snitch on me? How could you do this to me? That's it. When I take over, you don't get any position of power. I'm making Arthur Morgan my vice president. I'm making Grace my secretary of state or whatever. I don't know.
Wait, where?
You go to the gulag.
Oh.
To the gulag with you.
Wait, what? I'm so confused.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, well, y'all, Hood has taken over stream, so I'll just disappear here. All right, I'll fade into the abyss.
No, come back. No.
Ha! You thought you could get rid of me? No, you're just stuck with me. Even if Hood takes over, I'll be haunting y'all.
Oh
I'm always with Kat. She got me out of the basement and away from the arson club.
The arson club? Whoa.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
You didn't know about the arson club? The arson club's down in the basement at the tavern.
Oh, dang. It's a real thing?
It is a real thing. I mean,
my gosh.
Okay, so a little bit of lore. For anyone who's new, hi, welcome. We don't do morning monologues every time. I also do other stuff on this channel. So apparently I didn't come up with this lore. So I don't know. Hood, if you ever stream on Twitch, just be ready for your community to come up with like crazy lore and you have no say in it. The lore was apparently all my followers, I people nap and put them in my basement. So that was the big thing. It was like, oh yes, all your followers are in the basement. And it started off with like, oh yeah, it's like a grungy, cold, wet dungeon, and oh, we're stuck in here. We get scraps and there's rats, and then it became okay, well, like get out. Like here's the key, get out. Like nah, it's a 5-star hotel now with like our own Wi-Fi. We got our own computer and like all a mini fridge packed full of snacks and stuff. It's like, it's like, gosh dang it.
That's funny.
So now that I have the tavern, anyone who wants to stay can stay up in the inn in a nice room that they can decorate themselves. Meanwhile, the arson club, because of chaos and anarchy, wants to stay in the basement and do their arson club things downstairs. So it's fine.
Yo, hey, does anyone want to let me in the arson club? You know,
Oh gosh, dang it.
slide me a VIP, maybe a little bit. Just give me a VIP card. You know, let me in. I won't tell nobody. I won't tell Kat. You know, just
Dude,
let me
like
slide.
there's a sign. There's a sign that says Arson Club downstairs. You don't have to worry about hiding it, my guy.
That's great. I love that it's even titled.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, we burned the sign. Well,
We
no.
burned the sign.
No. You're not allowed to burn
Makes
the sign
sense.
because that's upstairs. You don't get flames upstairs. There is charms downstairs to keep the flames downstairs. No one's bringing flames upstairs.
I live in the closet and I hide under Kat's clothes.
Oh
What?
my gosh, that was another thing. People were like, we don't want to be in the basement anymore. So a couple escaped. Arthur escaped and now lives in my closet.
Oh.
Yoshi escaped and lives under my bed. I forget who else. Somebody else escaped. And I think they were like under my desk or something. Anyway, it's fine.
Wow.
Anyway,
That's great.
We're here to talk about relationship flags.
Yeah. And I think we put these
weird.
two in beige, right? Is that where we're at?
I think so.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any more further discussion on them? I'm just gonna throw them
I
in the
just
middle.
summarized it.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna throw them both in the middle there. Okay, cool. Huzzah, we're
Right?
fine.
That's all I did, guys. I just summarized it. That's all that happened.
Guys, did I mention that Hood is a content creator over on YouTube? You guys should go check out his channel. Get him to 2,000 subscribers so that he stops threatening to take over this channel. Hold on a sec, guys. Hold on a sec. I'll get you the link here in just a second here. Whoops, I can't spell.
This is my version of the spray bottle. Just getting embarrassed with you throwing up my channel every 2 seconds. Soviet anthem plays. Sigh ho.
You think I'm here to be nice, Hood? You think I'm a nice person? That I'm going to be kind and supportive for good reasons? No.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Dude stole my color scheme. Hey. I've had that color scheme for a long time, Maximum. I've had that color scheme a long time. Also, that makes me just remember, we'll get right back to this, but I had a little rabbit trail.
Yeah,
okay,
sure,
does anyone here know Fuamoko, the VTubers, Fuamoko, the two like wolf girls or whatever? Because
I don't think so.
They debuted in 2020 and they call their followers ruffians, and I called mine ruffians before then, and so I claimed it, and so then I have a bone to pick with them. No pun intended. No pun intended.
Oh man, that sucks. I mean, I guess like unless you like copyrighted it, it's kind of hard to take that. But you know.
No, I was just saying because it's like one of those things where everybody has like their own name and stuff like that, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm not changing mine. I came up with mine first.
This is mine first. I'll fight you.
Yeah.
I mean, I just call my community my lovelies or my beans. So, you know, I'm not very original, but it's fine. I still love you guys. It's fine.
I don't watch wolf women. I stay pure.
Your channel, more like our channel now. In Soviet Russia, we own your channel.
In Soviet Russia, your channel is ours. It is all of ours.
In Soviet Russia, we watch, you watch us.
All right, flags.
We're here for flags. Hold on a sec.
Ow, I just hit my hand. Ow.
Oh, what did you do that for? You okay?
I was getting hype and I punched my hand.
Oh, well, don't do that. Don't do that. It'll be okay.
I'm fine. What's the next flag? That's a red flag, what I just did there.
Punching things. He didn't punch a pillow, guys. He punched his hand, question mark?
Yeah.
All right, our next flag is beliefs in aliens.
Ooh, interesting.
All the conspiracy theory stuff for Hood here today, guys.
Love my conspiracy theory stuff, yeah. Interesting. How do you feel about this? I'm curious to know your answer first.
I don't know. Like, I feel like most people who quote unquote believe in aliens, there's no like in between. It's either you believe in aliens or you're like, or you don't believe in aliens, or you're hardcore like obsessed with aliens. Like I feel there's very few like in between.
Just like normie alien believers. Yeah.
I don't think there's any of those. Like again, like I I don't believe in aliens. Like I'm open to like again, like the universe is so big and
Mhm.
God can do whatever he wants in the universes and stuff, but as of right now it's like I don't think there's I think it's just us.
Yeah, like I feel like for me, like cuz I used to like traditionally always was like anytime someone sees aliens, they're seeing demons. That's what's happening.
Ooh.
That's always been my explanation that it's any of that stuff that they're witnessing or whatever or it's some government thing again. Well, this is conspiracy time. Now we're over on my channel, guys. This is what I do a lot is conspiracy theory stuff, okay? But
Good the hot takes.
yeah. But I've had other people mention stuff which made me say, I mean, okay, fair, which is so it used to be, there's no mention of aliens in the Bible, so therefore that means that there's no, but just because it's not written in the Bible, does that
Mhm.
mean that there's literally none?
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily willing to say that, but I'm just also like I'm
Mhm.
under the impression that if there was any, because like you said, the universe is so big,
Yeah.
if there were any, they're not pertinent to us. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't think that we're ever gonna come across anything like that,
Nah.
So to me, it's like I just feel like anything that people are witnessing, if they do witness anything crazy like that, it's probably demonic of some nature. So
Yeah, that's
um
fair.
this is
Yeah.
not this is not a deal breaker, but
Oh
I don't
no.
really know how I feel about it in terms of just like, again, I'm more into the idea of like I think it's angels versus demons. That's where my mind kind of goes, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. Kind of like what chat's saying. Like I wouldn't say this is a red flag unless they were like unless this was kind of like when politics becomes a part of your identity,
mhm.
like believing in aliens becomes a part of your
You're wearing
identity.
tinfoil hats all the time,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
not really my cup of tea.
Uh,
Sorry, not sorry. But I don't know, like if someone like again, like I don't think there are, but I'm open to the possibility that may like if there are, then or if, I don't know if God's just like, hey, check it out. I made this other civilization on this other planet. It's like, okay, huh, interesting.
yeah.
Huh. But as of right now, I was like, nah. But I would just put that in beige because like if someone is like, yeah, no,
Same.
I think there are aliens out there. It's like, okay, well, cool. We can like
Yeah,
again,
kind of.
that's a
Yeah, it's
conversation to have.
basically it's as long as you're not like trying to contact them and you have like a base in your house or something or
Yeah,
whatever, I
then
don't
it's
know.
like, it's like, okay, just,
Really fun for sci-fi material though.
Oh, very much
Outside of
so.
that, I don't know.
Yeah. Ooh, Maxima has a cool answer. My answer for this is aliens as in UFOs? No. Aliens as in somewhere in the universe? Sure, I don't think that's unbiblical because God creates what he wants. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And again, I'm under the impression that it's like just because it doesn't say there's other things in the Bible doesn't mean that there aren't any. I just would
Mm-hmm.
assume then they're not pertinent to us. Like it just doesn't matter,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
So it's something that is, and we're probably never gonna come across anything like that. It's like that's just the way that my mind would think about it. But
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
to just completely write it off, I'm like, I don't know. But I'm not too passionate about it
Yeah,
really one way or another.
it's just kind of like, okay, cool. Like I like sci-fi films and stuff like that. Like I think that's really cool. I think the thought of like Star Wars, like there being different civilizations on different planets. I think that's a cool thought. But as of right now, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't think so. But
And I think
open to
what
it.
makes me more adverse to it, so this is where it could maybe start leaning toward red flag for me, is
Mm.
that we're heading into an era where now even like the government's trying to say like there's aliens, guys, there's aliens, and so it's like okay, I'm very much a person that if the government is telling me something, it's probably not true.
Yeah.
So if they're trying to get me to believe that, I'm like, and then if somebody was like
Yeah.
heading into that, I'm kind of more just like okay, that might be a bit much, but
Yeah. It's like,
but
yeah.
anyway.
Well, everyone's trying to go to space now, so it's like, we need to conquer space. It's like, okay, well, great. So far we found nothing with like all the satellites and rockets and stuff that we've sent out. Like we found nothing. So it's like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, when the
anyway.
government starts saying it means there's something they're covering up. And that's my assumption, that's my assumption usually. So
Mm-hmm. Because no one's gonna question aliens because we have no information on aliens. So it's like, oh, aliens. Oh, okay, cool.
well,
Okay.
and I know that like I'm darn near certain eventually they're gonna try to use that for whatever, like the rapture or whatever, like, they're gonna
Yes.
try to say like, oh, aliens took them and stuff like that. And so that's what makes me then lean more toward like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, no, this is probably just demonic in nature if there's anything at all. So,
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. That's
um,
fair. I agree with that.
so beige,
Beige.
beige.
All right. Next here. Constantly looking at their phone.
Oh, like just in general or like on a date or like,
I think just in general, like even like yeah, even being like on a date and stuff like that. I think just yeah, constantly looking at their phone.
I would not want to do that on a date. If I actually am like interested in wanting to like get to know this person, that phone is pretty much in my pocket the whole time unless I'm wanting to
Mm-hmm.
show them something on it. So,
Mm-hmm. I I remember going for coffee with a friend of mine, a coworker, and like I set my phone because again I had to be back by a certain time. So I'm like, okay, well I need my phone out so I can hear my timer. So I just had it flipped upside down so that I couldn't see the screen. I put it on the side of the table and we just talked. And she did the same with hers. I don't know, just following suit or whatever. And we talked and we talked and we talked. And she was like, man, I haven't wanted to look at my phone once this whole time. I just kind of sat there like, is that
that's wholesome.
not normal? Like that's really awesome. But it was just kind of funny. Cause yeah, we live in a day and age where it's like, we can't handle silence or just like
Yep.
a nothingness. Maybe men are different because I know men have their like nothing box or whatever. But I feel like we live in a day and age where, yeah, like we're almost like afraid of the silence or doing
Yeah.
nothing. And so it's like, it's just easier to pull out your phone and be like, okay, what's happening here? What's happening here? There's like flip through all your different apps, flip through all your messages. Like, heck, I'm the person that if I'm walking down the street and I have to walk past someone and it's kind of like maybe sketchy at the end or something, I'll pull my phone out and pretend that I'm on my phone or whatever, just as like almost like a safety mechanism or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, no, when you're like spending time with someone, like I'm to the point where I used to take like pictures all the time, mostly because I was paranoid that I was losing my memory. And so I'm like, I need to take pictures of everything so I remember things. But I don't know. I think it's like maybe like a getting older thing. Like
Mm.
I don't take pictures every time I'm with my friends anymore. Like we don't take a bunch of like selfies or whatever. We just sit there and enjoy the moment. And like depending on like I don't know if I've been there like all day, like then yeah, like we'll like be sitting on the couch and like we'll both check our phones and stuff. But we enjoy each other's company and stuff. And especially like if you're getting to know someone new, like you need to be intentional. You need to like talk with them. You need like just ah
Yeah. No, I think this is a pretty definite red flag. It's like it's just you're saying that you're not interesting enough if you're doing that, Like it's obviously there's something more interesting on your phone that you care about than
yeah,
wanting to talk with me. So,
it comes across as like rude or I'm not that interesting or whatever. And like I've had like situations where I've gone out for coffee with people and they're just on their phone constantly. Or I'll be telling them a story and then they'll like whip out their phone halfway through and then put it down like, I'm sorry, what like can you repeat that again? And I'm like, you willingly chose to pull your phone out as I was telling you this story. Like you made a conscious decision to
yeah.
tune me out for however long. Like it's just rude. It comes across like even if you don't mean it to be rude, it comes across as rude and like you don't care. It's like,
Mhm.
ah, it's just sad. So
Yeah.
I'm
Because like you could argue that it's a beige, but for me, it constantly is the key word
yeah.
for me to put it in red.
Again,
That's
yes, the
me.
words. Yes.
Mhm.
Constantly. Like if it was like keeps looking at their phone, I'd put it in beige, being like, oh, like, are they okay? Like maybe there's
Yeah.
like a family member in trouble, or maybe they're waiting for like an important phone call. And like so that it's like, okay, well then that can be beige because it could be like whatever. But
But I feel like if that's the case, then you would say something,
yeah,
right?
you
You
would
would tell.
communicate that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
You'd be like,
whereas
"Hey,
like,
hey, I just want you to know I'm listening. There's something really important that's going on." And if that was the case, if they told me that, I'd just be like, "Oh, well, deal with that first." And then
mhm,
like, then once you're done, then we can keep going. Like I don't want to
yeah.
take you away from something that's important. I did just hear this story recently like of the same thing. I don't know if it's true or not, but
Hmm.
um it was this radio show that basically tries to help get people hooked up on second dates or something. Some of them are obviously scripted, but I think some of them were
Yeah.
real. So it's like take this with a grain of salt. But at least the scenario, assuming it's real, it's really wild. So
Mm.
this girl called in, said what the situation was. Guy took her out on a first date. She thought it went really well, and he never called her back. So they call this guy, and
Yes.
it just you've seen this. You've
Those
seen this.
radio stations are gonna get sued one of these days, but yes, I've seen
Yeah,
these.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. And so he answers, and they're like, "Yeah, so, we heard that you went on a date, why'd you not go on a second date?" And so he doesn't know, but the girl that got them to call him is on the line, but he
Mhm.
just doesn't know it. So he then says, "Well, it's just because she looked at her phone the whole time, and like that's all that she did. And so I just figured there's something more important on her phone than me. So I just
Aw.
figured, that was a bad date." And so then she gets on the line and starts talking to him, and she's just like, "No, it wasn't there." She's like, "I was on my phone the whole time because I was taking notes." And he's like, "Of the date?" And she's like, "Yes, I wanted to be able to take notes, and so that way, we could remember these things for later. I thought the date went really well. That's why I gave you a kiss
Oh.
afterwards." He's like, "I thought the kiss didn't make any sense. I was trying to figure out why that even happened because I thought you didn't care." And
Oh
it was really awkward and
no.
funny, and
Oh
yeah, and she was that particular one again, assuming it was real, she was kinda tweaked,
no.
but,
Oh my
um,
gosh.
it's what that made reminded me of, so.
Uh, I mean, I'm someone who has like the memory of a goldfish. But even like with that, it's like, no, just take mental note and like maybe when he goes to the bathroom or something, then type it down. I was like, oh
Yeah, she was
no.
like she was like, "I was writing down all the stuff that I liked and didn't like about you so I could see if this was something that would be
Oh
good for, a
no.
second date or whatever," and he's just like,
Oh
"You recorded everything? Are you
no.
serious?" I was like so then they ask at the end of the thing, they're like, "So we'll pay for a second date, the radio show, if you wanna go
Yeah.
on another date. Do you wanna go on another date?" And he's just like, "I think that's a hard pass for me." It was so funny. It was sad, but it was funny. Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
And then she was mad at the radio station because because it was a guy and a girl that's on the radio station, and
Yeah.
the girl was trying to, like, help by, like, trying to get him to be like, "Well, maybe look at it this way, maybe don't look at it as such a thing." But
Yeah.
the girl that was the one taking the notes, she was getting mad at the girl host because she's like, "You're not helping the situation, you're making it worse." And she's like, "I'm trying to help you. Like, why are you mad at me?" It was so funny.
I'm trying, woman. It's like I'm trying to be your wing person right now, and you're making it harder. It's
It's
like,
like you're the one that chronicled the entire date like it was the Bible too.
oh
Like
man. Like yes, I'm all for like a line. I feel you. Like I'm very much a note taker too. And I like to write things down so that I can remember. But when you're in a date, it's like you're in that moment. Like write it down later. Think about it later. Like don't do it right there in front of them. And you don't tell people that you're taking notes of like this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Right when you're with them. Like
yeah.
no,
Yeah,
don't.
that was wild.
Oh man, my heart. Oh no.
So
Uh,
anyway,
so red
but
flag.
yeah, I think it's a red flag personally.
Oh my gosh.
I'm thinking like that guy was. I'm thinking that date went awful if that's what was happening to me.
Oh,
So
yep. Just, oh man, that poor guy though, because like he's like, okay, I'm just going to like let her down gently and just leave it as is and carry on. And now he's like, well, now I have to blast her for the
yeah,
whole.
on the radio, it's like, dang.
Oh, and then people like record those things and put them on TikTok. So it's like now it's on the internet. It's just,
Yeah, yeah.
ah. Grace says, I
Brutal.
feel bad for her because I imagine socially awkward and people who are bad with social cues doing it. See, that's the thing, is it's like some people are not socially aware and
Hmm.
or are socially awkward and stuff. And it's like, so I feel for those people. I feel. But now she knows, I guess. It's like, don't do that, honey. Like,
I hope she did. She didn't act like it was a bad thing what she did. She thought she was perfectly in the
oh,
right and that he was insane
oh,
and that the hosts
oh.
ruined everything. So
Well, it
yeah, red
might
flag in terms of personality, but
it might take her a couple more dates, unfortunately, to realize this isn't a good thing to do. It's just, no
it's
worries, Arthur,
always
no
them.
worries.
It's never me. It's always them.
Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. I don't think I'm the problem. What? Like, just, no. Ah. Anyway, all right, I'll shut up now. We'll carry on. Oh my gosh.
All
Ooh,
right.
okay. This is an interesting one. Doesn't like PDA. For anyone who doesn't know what
PDA.
PDA is, public displays of affection.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm curious about your thoughts on this. I got thoughts, but I'm gonna give you the mic first this time.
I don't think this is a bad thing. Like I don't think doesn't like public displays of affection. I think it depends on how far you take that. Like if you're
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't want to hold your hand in public, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But like not, I don't want to make out on the park bench I think, yeah, I
Yep.
agree with you.
Yep.
That's not cool.
Yep.
I think public displays of affection should stop and end at like a quick little peck, like if you're
Mhm.
with that person, like, you're a married couple or something, just give a
Yeah.
little kiss mwah, right on, and then that's it. And that's aside from that though, any further, well, okay, no, I don't think everyone else needs to see that. So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
that's closer to green flag territory for me. I guess it just depends on how crazy you get with it, where it's like, don't act like we even know each other.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's weird. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's extreme. So
Yeah. I was gonna say, as a physical touch person, even
yeah, this
I
would be a
draw.
big one for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why I wanted to hear yours first before I like went off with it. But even as a physical touch person, like even I get weirded out with different levels of PDA. So yeah, like what Maxim says, I would put it at beige because yeah, again, like holding hands, a little kiss, or like hugging. Like hugging is still technically PDA, guys. So if you're not
Yeah.
gonna let me hug you in public, I'm gonna take that as a sign of rejection, and I'm going to feel very sad. So
Yeah, see, I'm a hugger too, so but I always ask
Uh,
first if I don't know the person. I'm just like, are
oh
we a
yeah, yeah,
hugger?
yeah, 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 yeah.
And then, but
Yeah.
so
Yeah, consent is important. We stand
Yeah.
that. But yeah, like the well now there's like I don't know, there's like certain like there should be like social levels, of like okay, like we're at my place, like yeah, I'm okay with like snuggling and stuff like that. We're out in public, like no, we're not doing that out in public. And like,
Yeah.
but now there's like, oh, I think there was like a story of um a guy and a gal. The guy's now in jail. The girl has been listed as a sex offender because
Uh.
they decided to do the dirty in the middle of a park under a blanket, but everyone knew what was happening. And there were
Huh?
children and minors. Like it was bad. It was bad. So yeah, of course, like
Why?
people figured out who they were. They got reported. The guy got arrested and sent to jail, and she's just now on a sex offender list because they did that in public. And it's like, oh my gosh, like
My brain.
how have we gone so far down the rabbit hole that somebody thinks it's okay to do this in public? We're covered. It's fine. No, people still know. Like,
That's
ah!
crazy. That's wild.
It's
That's
just-
wild. See, but I think for some people though, I think there is a thing about like the idea of doing something bad, but then knowing that you can get away with it type of a deal. I think that's
Yeah.
a thing for people. I think so.
Mhm.
Like, but golly, that's wild.
Yeah,
oh,
I just
that-
sorry. I see Maxim's comment. It's like rabbit hole would have been more private.
No.
Were they trying to be the Sims?
Oh my gosh, not the Sims.
I don't know, man, but I was like, that's not okay. That's not okay.
Oy,
You can't
oy.
do that. Oh
That's
my
wild,
gosh.
yeah.
See, that takes PDA to a whole nother level. It's like, okay, no.
Yeah, that's like
No, no,
different.
no, no,
That's
no,
like
no,
not
no.
even. That's not on the same spectrum for me.
No,
even.
that's a whole nother. Oh my gosh. Just like, but people have gotten
Oy.
so comfortable with like extreme PDA. Because again, like for me, yes, like holding hands, hugging, like heck, I don't know, sometimes it's even, I don't know, sometimes I even feel a little weird where like you're at church and like the couple in front of you or whatever, like starts rubbing each other's back, or whatever. Even like that kind of like, okay, like, like do you need to be doing that right now in the middle of church? Like even like, because again, like for me, I would love that very much, but not in church. Like, no, it just feels weird to do it in front of everybody when we're supposed to be like reading the Bible. Just like,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It just-
Actually, reading the Bible.
it feels weird. Again, not to hate on people. Like my my mom does that sometimes to my dad. And I'm like, okay, guys. Like,
Yeah.
I
I
get
mean, like,
it.
cause like, I think like if you're like out in public and you see like who's very obviously like a married couple or boyfriend girlfriend whatever, and it's like we'll just use the park bench as an example again, where it's like he's got his arm around her, maybe it's like cold and she's like leaning up against him or something, like that's fine, that's kind of cute, but it's
Yeah.
like I like, yeah, it's I feel like some of these things are rather obvious unless you're completely socially inept, like of what is okay and what isn't typically. I feel
Yeah.
like. So I don't know. I'm leaning more toward green, but I think it just is again. I mean, it's like assuming you're not being insane, assuming you're
Mm-hmm.
not just being like, we can't hold hands. I can't let anyone know. That's like what is that meme that they always do? They're like, it's so lewd, unconsensual hand holding or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, as long as you're not
There's-
like that, I mean, yeah, I think this is a typical like I agree with this one. So
That's
this
fair.
is
That's
fine.
fair. As as a physical touch person, I took this as an offense at first. I'm like, oh, I don't want to
Yeah.
hold my hand. I really got sad.
Yeah, and if it was like that, okay, if it was like that, that would be more like beige because I'd
Hmm.
be like, for real? Are you
Yeah.
serious?
But yeah, when people think of like PDA, be like, oh, too much PDA. Like, oh no, PDA. Like they think of like someone macking on the bench, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So no, that's fair. That's fair. I'm willing to put it in green because
Yeah, we haven't
that's
had a green for a while, so
we need a green. We need the green flag, guys.
yeah.
Uh, but
Obvious
yeah.
degeneracy is a no, but I still feel like there is a Puritan, or I think I said that right, mentality around this too. Correct. And that's kind of why I'm saying what I'm saying. Like, I think you can go too far. Hyperpurity
Mm-hmm.
culture is a real thing, and I disagree with it emphatically for multiple reasons, but that's another topic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, and I think again, I think it's just it's kind of just like how would you feel if you're walking across this situation? And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, if you would feel weird, then don't do it yourself. But
Mm-hmm.
if you wouldn't, then I think, then that's fine. But I don't know, some people have no shame, so maybe that's not always the
Yeah.
greatest indicator. Apparently the people under the blanket didn't. So
It's just it's so bad. So, but yeah, since
yeah.
we've clarified, like PDA is like I would also put an X in front of an extreme public displays of affection because it's like
Yeah.
if this was referring to like hand holding stuff too, like this would definitely be a red flag for me because it's like no, I want to hold your hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just so, but no, we've discussed it. It's fine. Stop talking about it, Hoodla.
I
Where's my
didn't
pause
bring it up.
button?
Okay, that was Cat. Cat brought it up first.
But you keep bringing it up. No, it's fine. It's fine. I did bring it up. I was again just trying to show how crazy people are and just how no, that's not okay. So now when people think of PDA, they think of things like that. Whereas like, but
Yeah.
as people that just want to hold the hands or just like give hugs and stuff, it's like, oh man, guys, being a physical touch person is so hard. So hard because
Yeah.
you tell someone that physical touch is your love language, they're immediately like, oh, so you're like all like, hands on. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
that's not what that means. It means that I want to give hugs. I want to give high fives. I need to be like touching my friends sometimes, like not in like non-sexual ways, but just like
Yeah. Yeah.
I like touch. But
It's
then
just the connection.
yeah, exactly. But then also like the other side of that is that I'm very sensitive to touch. So if someone like I don't know that I do not like or feel weirded out by, if they're trying to touch me, I'm extra weirded out by that because I'm like, no, because that is my love language. I do not want that love coming from you and stuff like that. So anyway,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
anyway, we'll talk about that another time, guys. Just moving on. Let's see what's next here. Okay, mainly plays RPGs.
I'm okay with that. That's fine.
Can someone
I'm o-
explain to me again what are RPGs again?
You don't know what an RPG cat.
I'm
Cat.
not an actual gamer. I'm a fake gamer. Okay,
She's
I don't
not a
know the
gamer,
lingo.
guys. She
I
doesn't
don't know
know.
the lingo.
She doesn't know anything about Chrono Trigger. She don't know nothing about Final Fantasy. Oh my
That's
goodness.
why I'm asking for help, Hood, because I don't know things.
Yeah, it's a role-playing game like Club Dog.
Teach me. Tell me things. I'm asking
So-
for help.
So have you seen like games like Final Fantasy, like those
Yeah.
types? Okay, so basically they're role-playing games. So you're playing as a character in a world. Oftentimes there's varying degrees of that, but like Skyrim would be considered an RPG too, where you make your own character and then you're put into this world where you kind of just get to go and do different things. Some of them are more linear, like a Final Fantasy. Some of them are more open world, like a Skyrim, and
I
have
was
more customization.
I was gonna
So.
say, aren't most games RPGs then in that case?
So not technically. So like
Oh,
you
okay.
wouldn't consider. Do you know BioShock Infinite, for instance?
I've heard of it. I
Okay.
think.
Where
Ah!
the one with the guy and the girl that are in that. If you know BioShock, I guess if you don't know BioShock,
I
but in
don't
that
think
game,
so,
just
sorry.
since hopefully the chat will know, but like in that game, you play as a character named Booker DeWitt, right? So you're actually doing stuff as him, like for him as the character of him, but you're not actually becoming him necessarily. You're just kind of controlling his actions, right?
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's kind of that's kind of, I would say, the difference. Where in RPG, usually you get to name your character, you get to kind of, uh what's the word I'm trying to say? Like you have free roam of just kind of wherever you want to go. You're not like on a railroad track. Um but the main idea is that you're role playing. Usually it'll give you uh like where you can say different like communication options and stuff like that. So someone asks you a question and you can then answer the way that you want. Um but yeah, that's kind of more what it is. But like the different stuff where, again, it's hard if you don't know different examples. I can't
I'm
give
sorry.
examples.
Okay, so
No, you're good.
hold on a sec, chat. Hold on a sec, chat. Oh, okay. So AFK Journey is an RPG. Okay, cool, cool. Okay. So
Oh
wait a
yeah,
minute.
that'd be a good
Wait a
example.
second, guys. Does that mean Stardew Valley is an RPG?
Yeah, it'd be considered
Oh,
one.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it's
Great.
not a
That's fine.
traditional, like, it's not in the same vein of like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
usual RPGs are like fantasy based. This one
Yeah.
is just you're playing a character and you're in this like little farm world, and yeah, I would
Oh,
say that
okay.
that fits right in there.
Oh, then yeah, I see nothing wrong with that. Also, Will, thank you so much for the resub, friend. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
it's a broad term. It's a broad term.
okay. I don't know all the gamer lingo, and then when I do learn something, I forget it, and then I don't remember, and then I feel embarrassed to ask. So, guys, this is me being vulnerable, and I don't know all the things. So, thank you for teaching
Yeah,
me the lingo. I appreciate
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. With all that being said, then I don't see that as bad. I think that's fine.
I think that's great. RPGs are my favorite kind of game, so we would
Oh, there
just
you go.
vibe over that.
There
So
you go.
that's a green flag for me. I don't know.
Huzzah! All right. Well, let's throw that up there because I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that's fine.
hmm I feel like you'd have to be like, "What? You don't play? I don't know, puzzle games? What are you, a Neanderthal?" It's like, I don't know. You'd have to
I
be
mean,
really dumb.
I like my puzzle games, but I'm not gonna hate on anyone for not liking puzzle games. It's like everyone has their own niche, like
Yeah.
So it's just yeah, I think it's fine. Huh.
Man, a cut and dry green flag? That's like a freaking unicorn.
I
We
was
don't
gonna
ever see
say.
those.
I mean, that was the same as actually sings during Sunday worship and can
True.
carry more than four folding chairs at
True.
once.
True. Yeah. Most of the green flags have been like no question immediate green flags, so.
Oh man. All right. So, Hood, we are at the 3 hour mark. Do you want to do one more or do you want to just leave it at that?
I'm gonna do one more.
All right, cool. This one may or may not be another rabbit hole, but hey, it's fine. As long as you're not in a rush to have to leave to go anywhere.
No, I'm good right now.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. You heard him. Whoops, wrong button. This is the button I want. Aha. All right. Our final one for today is, oh gosh, my ad thing is in front of it. Protecting your boundaries, i.e., if you don't drink, stands up for you when people tease.
Mm. Yeah,
This,
no, that's
yeah. Sorry, you say what you're gonna say.
I was just gonna say, I mean, like that's pretty green for me. Um,
I think that's very green because I feel like
yeah.
it's more often than not, unfortunately, that people in relationships um can be focused on self and thus leading to not respecting your boundaries.
Yeah.
So for me, and I think I didn't write this one, but I very much resonate with this one. Not in the sense of that I was in a relationship, but I had a friend who was basically like an older brother to me. Um, and every time I went to like a Filipino party, like there was always food, karaoke, and alcohol. And so everyone was always drinking food and stuff, or drinking booze. And
Yeah. Yeah.
everyone would always try and get me to drink and stuff because I guess that was like socially acceptable to make everybody drink and stuff. So again, this is just from the people that I was with. I don't know if that's for everybody. That's just the people that I was with. But I was like, no, I don't drink. Like, but it became like this running joke of like, oh, we'll just try a sip. And so I try a sip, and I'd be like that's gross. I don't like it because I just don't like alcohol. And we'd all laugh and we'd all move on. And I wouldn't drink for the rest of the night, and they wouldn't make me drink. But eventually got to the point where people were like, well, we're all expected to drink. Like, why don't you drink and stuff? And so people started to be a little more sassy about it and a little more like pushy about it. And eventually got to the point where someone was like trying to like shove a drink into my hand. I'm like, no, like I don't want to drink and I don't like alcohol anyway. So no, like I don't want to do it. And they kept pushing it. And finally my friend came over and just like put himself physically between the two of us and was like, if she said she doesn't want to drink, she's not going to drink. Do not push her any further or we're going to have problems. And just like immediately shut that down.
So based.
Yeah. So I was very, very thankful for him. There was a couple other people too who were like, no, like, don't do that. But they were more so like being like, no, we need someone not drunk. So if we need to go get stuff, she can drive. I'm like, well, shucks. You're not really thinking about me. You're thinking about yourself. But no, that friend was very much like, no, she said no. She meant no. So shut it down.
Especially in a situation like that, I get if it's like a cultural thing, okay, whatever. But like in general, like the way my mind thinks, I'd be like, why are you trying so hard? Like,
exactly.
what are you like? It makes me suddenly think, because my mind always goes to worst case scenario. Like, what did you slip in her drink? Like, that's where my mind immediately goes. Because it's like, why are you trying to force it so hard? Like, and luckily I've never come across people like that where they've, anyone that I've ever been around that was somebody who drank, they were really polite about it. They'd be like, hey, you want something? We're having something. And I'd be like, oh no, I'm good, thanks. I'd be like, oh, okay, no problem. And then they're chill and it's whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the only reason that like for a second I was just kind of, because I was trying to think and I was like, is there any way that this could be bad? And I don't see it as ever being a bad thing unless someone is like overreactive. Where like, I guess if you are like to where you're like embarrassing the other person who has the boundaries or something like that because you're being whatever. Like obviously in your situation that was like, that's typically how it would go. So it's like, they asked you a few times and then finally someone noticed it and was like, yo, chill, So, but that was the only reason that I hesitated for just a second, because I was trying to think if there's any devil's advocate I could play, but I don't know. That's pretty cut and dry green, guys. I like that one.
Yeah, no, again, like, if anything, this makes a person more attractive. Just letting y'all know, ladies and gents, this makes you more attractive when you assist in helping them lay down their boundaries. Because again, in this day and well, actually, like, I don't know, setting boundaries has not been a very promoted thing for a long time. I don't know. I feel like that was just always expected of like, no, if a person says no, or like like there was, I don't know, in like older times or whatever, there was like a respect. Like you respected women, you respected men, and this and that. That respect has since been like diminished or whatever. And now people need to be setting boundaries of like, well, no, some people might be okay with that. I'm not okay with that. And especially as like a recovering chronic people pleaser, like this would mean the world to me if I end up dating someone and they help me set my boundaries. Because again, like it's hard, especially when you're so used to like, well, I have to make everybody happy and stuff, even if it means that I'm miserable in the end. It's like, no, you set your boundaries as long as they're like healthy and God honoring. Like you set those boundaries. And if people are going to try and push, it is so encouraging and so affirming to have someone come alongside you, especially someone who you care about and who you're in a relationship with, and be like, no, like I second this. Like she or he said no, or they said this is their boundary. Like, no, like you need to respect that. And it's like, marry me. Like again, that's not the be all end all, but it is pretty attractive. Just saying.
Yeah. No, I feel you. That's a good one.
Yeah. So
nice, good one to end on.
Yeah. Look at that, guys. Look at that. A nice little one up there. Again, I'm not actually picking where things go in line, except for like maybe the red and near the sides and stuff like that. But anyway. And we still have all these to go.
Still have so many more to go.
We have so many, Hood. Oh my gosh.
We spent so long just for like an hour just talking about whatever. I don't even remember what it was now.
I don't remember either. But hey, morning monologues, guys. We're gonna monologue, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm slowly introducing. Whoops! I just smacked my mic. Slowly introducing Hood into the ways of the monologuing here on this channel. It's a
Man.
normal thing. It's a normal thing. I almost called instead of morning monologues, I almost called it the rabbit trail because I just get on so many rabbit trails.
I like that too, though. That's nice. That's a fun name.
Man. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. If anyone is wanting to submit any more flags, feel free to keep using the link. Eventually I'll have to put like probably a stop on it. Otherwise, this is the list that never ends.
Yeah.
And we like having Hood here, guys. We don't want to lose Hood. Like, okay, this is never ending. I need a break. But yeah, no, this is fun. I enjoy this. I enjoy this very much.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some good talks for this one too. Some of those, like, they just needed that amount of time to talk about, though. So
It's true. It's true. Because again, like some of these are heavier than others, and some of them are more like vague. So it's like, okay, well, let's talk about both sides of this, you know? Or even just like, again, like guys, I call this a quote unquote live podcast, and it's like, I don't know if it's actually a podcast or whatever, but I like doing this live because then you guys can join in the conversation. And I love that so much. So then, and I apologize. I know I skipped over a lot of people's comments and stuff. That wasn't maliciously or intentionally. That was just conversation is going and we have to keep it going. As you can see, we have so many things to keep going through. So unfortunately, we can't touch on everybody's comments, but I do encourage you guys, like if someone comments and shares something, like have that interaction in chat. Like, please do that. Like, we are here, you are there, we're all in this together, but keep having those conversations. Like don't feel that you have to, like, I don't know, only comment about what we're talking about. Like, have those conversations in chat. Like, keep that dialogue going. Where's the link? It is in the Discord. I'm trying to keep it. Well, I guess no, I put it on Twitter, so it was there for everybody. Let me go see if I can find it here. Just real quick. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bum. That's an older one. There we go. Okay, I found it. Boom. Boop. There it is, right there. And if
Sick.
you lose it again later, it is in the Discord. You just have to scroll up to. Actually, no, it's that current announcement. So if you go in the Hear Ye, it is there. And yeah, let us know your flags you want us tier listed. I won't say what color they are, but we can. And again, take everything with a grain of salt. I personally think Hood is a very wise person. I try to be wise,
thanks.
but take everything with a grain of salt because again, everyone's different, and I don't know. These are just our opinions. Kind of like the whole doesn't like PDA. There's a twinge of sadness in me, but I get it because I understand that it's not mean. Anyway, that's just.
Yeah, ultimately, you got to kind of like take these things and
Yeah.
kind of cross-reference them with the Bible, with God, and
Yeah, exactly.
and go that route too. I think always, but yeah, I kind of just come. I feel like most of my stuff usually comes from a place of, or at least I try to, from a place of common sense of just like what makes the most sense, I guess. But
Yeah, no,
but I
that's
also
fair.
too like play devil's advocate on everything because I'm always trying to see if there's something, which is why that's why I get so caught up in like, wait, but I think the key word here is, because that's usually always, because it's like some of these could be like cut and dry if you just looked at them and you took your immediate emotional reaction to it. But the sometimes it's fun to like think through things and see like a potential other side of it that might, and that's probably why we have so many beiges, because I think we've done that so much.
Yeah. Which, yeah, like you said, I think that's healthy. I think it's healthy to have that open-mindedness of like, okay, like, yeah, this could be good, but also keep in mind that it could also be like this way or something. Charlie, she's like, Mom, I want to talk too, but I don't actually want to talk. Charlie, now I'm going to sound muffled because you're in front of the mic. That doesn't work. Charlie.
You have a living pop filter like that. They literally call those dead cats. Those the furry ones that you put on the end of a mic. They actually literally call them that. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. All right, Charlie. Now I have double pop filters because I already have a pop. Hi, baby.
You have a living cat. That's your pop filter.
Yes, I have a very much alive and purring, constantly never-ending purring and wanting snuggles cat.
Constantly hangry cat.
Honestly, if I was a cat, guys, I'd probably be Charlie. Like, she's very much like me, and it's fine.
Like daughter, like mother.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yes, yes. What Will said. Always do your own research, especially cross-referencing with the Bible. Yes. Amen.
Yep.
Be like the Bereans? Is that were those the people that Paul was like, yes, good job. Like you're listening to my messages and you're going home and doing your own research. Good job.
I can't remember, but I know the part you're talking about. I can't remember who it was though.
Yeah, be like those people. Be like those people. Do your homework, do your research. Don't take everything at face value.
Bolt says yes. So.
Yes. Okay, cool. Yay. Yay. I remembered something. Guys, I'm smart sometimes. Oh man. But yeah, this is good. I enjoy getting to do this, and I'm very, very, very grateful and thankful that you want to be a part of this hood because this is a lot of fun. It's good to have these conversations. And
yeah, I love these. These are fun.
It's also good to have, I don't know if you guys notice this chat, but I also think it's really nice to have like both perspectives of like male and female perspective as well.
Yeah.
So this makes it even better being like, oh good, like what does a man think about this? What does a woman think about this and stuff? Like, so I think this is really good. This is really, really good.
Yeah. Especially because guys and girls can like think differently. But I still am under the opinion that like most of the time it's like I always found it funny because like you'll see like guys on, I don't know, social media or videos or just in general, you'll hear them be like, girls are so confusing. They're just like, I just don't understand. And it's like, they're really not. You just treat them like a person. That's basically it. You just treat them like a person. It's not that difficult. It's really not. I promise.
Exactly. Treat them like a person. Communicate. You know.
Yeah.
Like with any gender, like communicate, guys. Like communication goes a long way. It's just...
Yeah. It's like you just might have some like, you know, differences in certain personality quirks, like, you know, that like guys are often more stoic and girls are often more emotional. So there might be different things that like are involved with that. But it's like, you know, outside of that, it's just like it's not that difficult. It's really not that hard.
It's like, hi, hello, I'm the stereotypical emotional woman. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. The issue is if they return the effort or not. True.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. So if they're not, honestly, it boils down to if they're not investing the same way you are, like that would be a red flag to me. Like, yeah. Whether that's romantically or platonically, like that's kind of a red flag. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, just again, it's good to be aware of things, guys. Keep an open mind. And yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Anyway, it's fine. we're just here. We're having fun. It's great. Oh,
perfect segue.
Yeah, huzzah! Yay! Well, thank you all for tuning in. Again, I realize Morning Monologues is usually on Saturdays, but again, this list is so long. And it's fun too. Like I'm thoroughly enjoying this, guys. I like doing these tier lists simply because I like having these conversations. So for me, I am absolutely loving this. So if you would like to do this again sometime this week, Hood, we can talk about that later and plan a day as well. But yeah, we'll also be, just FYI, before I'll head on your merry little way, we'll be back again tonight with a fantastic collaboration. It's going to be myself and Hood, as well as Will and our new friend Danger as well. Yeah. Danger was here earlier. I don't know if Danger's still in chat, but we're going to be back here. We're going to be playing, what's the name of the game again?
Ultimate Chicken Horse.
Yeah, let's go.
I love that game.
Danger. Also, thank you for the hydrate, Nightney.
Perfect. Oh, yeah. I forgot that involves me too.
Yeah, you too, Hood. You too. You will also need a potty break.
Yeah, I probably do.
Oh, man. No ads. No, Danger, no. Oh, of course. We're just like, we're gonna pull him back in by calling his name and then, psych. I deal some ads.
You pulled him in to get that sweet ad revenue.
Yeah, that ad revenue. That's what I'm living off of right now. It's fine. Oh, welcome back. Yes, we're just saying. We'll be back in tonight at 6 p.m. MST, 8 p.m. EST, I believe.
I think I did see it was 7 p.m. At CST, I believe is what. Yeah. Because you mentioned that, and because I said 6, but I think it was actually 7. I think you were correct. So. Oh, okay. So that would mean like for me it'd be 8 o'clock.
Okay,
EST,
perfect.
So.
Okay, so yes, so okay. Well, didn't want to say it wrong, but I just it's fine.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. But yes, 6 p.m. MST, 7 p.m. CST, and 8 p.m. EST. We'll be back here, as well as probably if Will or Danger are streaming, I'll be sure to shout them out when we get here too. Hood, will you be live streaming or will you just be recording?
Trying to decide whether I wanted to or not. I might stream it.
Okay. Well, no worries. You can take time to think. I'm
so less professional with my streaming than you are. You have all these nice little transitions and background screens and stuff. I literally just have the default thing that Streamlabs gave me. It was just the one that I thought looked the best, and I just kind of edited it a little bit.
I mean, hey, that's okay. Again, I've been doing this for over 3 years. I would probably shame myself if I hadn't taken better care or learned things along the way while I did this. So it's okay. It's okay. No judgment. It's all good. Yeah. Oh, no worries, Danger. No worries. But yes, if you guys want to come back here at that time, I will then be able to let you know who is live or who is recording or whatever, and send you guys their way too. So if it's just easier to pop back here, and we'll go from there, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've never played this game before, guys. So just FYI, I'm not a professional gamer, but you all know that already. And you still choose to come back.
Very hectic. You're going to be screaming a bunch. It's very funny.
Oh, so what you're saying is I'm going to need to drink lots of tea today beforehand and make sure I have throat lozenges for that. It'll be fine, guys. It'll be great.
You'll be fine. It's totally fine. There's definitely no way that you can just grief the other people playing in the game. That's not how the game works at all. That's never how this. You totally are working to get to the end of the game, so don't worry about it.
Now that you said that, I'm a little sus. I'm a little sus now, Hood.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. We're having a friendly race. That's all. It's a friendly race.
Okay. Well, I guess I know who's gonna be in the back. No worries, Will. We'll see you later tonight. I've seen some gameplay, guys. It's just been a hot minute, so I might have to do that as my homework today. I might have to watch some gameplay today. Because you said Markiplier played this, right?
I think so. Pretty much every bigger content creator has at some point.
That's fair.
So.
That's very fair. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, we're gonna wrap things up there. I'll let you guys know either Discord, actually no, on Discord and on Twitter when we plan to do another episode. It'll obviously be in the morning again, probably, sort of, maybe. I don't know. It's fine. We'll figure it out. I'll let you guys know, because I am not professional anymore. We just fly by the seat of our pants with this now.
Yes.
But yeah,
Great.
thanks for tuning in, friends. I believe that Lizzie is live right now. So we're gonna go.
Oh, is she still? I saw she was earlier.
Yeah, she's still going. So
gosh.
I think she might be wrapping up some gameplay. But hey, we will do a raid train if need be. I think it's fun. I think it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
And thank you for being here, Lion. And also thank you for being here on my side, even amidst all the anarchy and potential treason. I appreciate that very much.
I will remember this, Lion. I will remember this. I remember who is loyal to me and who is not. For whoever goes against Hood Lamont shall face dire consequences.
Yeah, sure, buddy, sure. He's a big old softie, guys. It's fine.
Not. Not at all.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. It's okay. Have a cookie.
Is it chocolate chip cookie?
It is. It is chocolate chip.
Awesome.
Freshly made.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh. All right, we're gonna... Yes, soon we'll be battling each other, Danger. I want us to be a team, but it's fine. I accept it. I accept my defeat already. It's fine. But yes, thanks so much for hanging out, friends. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that follow button down below to be notified next time I'm live. Also, be sure to... Hold on a sec. Where's my... Oops, that's the wrong button. That one. Be sure to go give Hood a lovely subscription over on his YouTube channel. Go like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, he's awesome. Go check him out.
I haven't released a video in like 2 weeks or something, but it's because the ones that I'm working on are really long because I need to make space on my hard drive. So it's just been taking forever with Christmas and other real life stuff. And
Yeah,
so there will be a new video eventually shortly. So
I will take some credit for that because the 5-hour raft thing, it's
yeah,
yeah.
I haven't even gotten to that yet. Oh my gosh, that's like 500 gigabytes of footage, by the way.
I know. I'm like, oh
I-
my gosh, that's so
I didn't know.
much.
I think Raft just like it must just I don't because certain games do that. I can go that same length and it won't be nearly that long. But with Raft, I don't know why it like takes up space so quickly. I have no idea why.
It must be a raft thing. Like that's just crazy. As soon as you said how much space it took, I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
what do
100
you
gigabytes an
mean?
hour. That's insane.
That's
So
crazy. Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
yikes. But anyway, yes, he's got stuff coming. Be patient, guys.
Yeah.
Be patient. Just like it's taking me forever to finish editing things too. I feel that in my soul. So no judgment here. But yes, go give him subscribe to his channel and be ready for his future content because it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Watch his old stuff. go watch through all his old stuff. Comment on that, like it, all the good stuff. So yeah. Oh, hi, Charlie. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Lion. Lion's already on top of everything. Let's go. But yes, we have our raid messages there. Feel free to copy either or. Just know that the Charlie emotes only work for subscribers. So if you're subscribed and someone gifted you a subscription, feel free to use that because the Charlie emotes are so cute. Shout out
Based.
to our sweet friend Nightney who designed those and made those herself. So haha.
Sick.
And yeah. Danger, thanks so much for the follow. Oh my gosh. How'd you find us?
Let's go.
Let's go. Alrighty, let's see. Let's go raid. As long as I can spell her name right. Oops, I can't spell apparently. Yeah, there we go. All right. Here to do my job. And you do it so... Oh my gosh! Danger, thank you for the subscription
Whoa.
with Prime. Oh my gosh. That gets us another point of the board. Okay, guys, tonight I'll be spinning the Christmas wheel. And we'll see what we land on this time. But I'll save that for later. But thank you so much, guys. We're at, what is that? We're at 109 points now. Holy cannoli. Aw, you guys are so nice. My heart.
Wholesome.
So wholesome. See, we're so chaotic, but we're so wholesome here. It's great. Right, Charlie? Just like, mother, I want food. I want more food. Okay, give me a minute. Give me a minute. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Mother, I require sustenance, mother.
Mother, I crave violence. But yeah, thanks so much for joining, Hood. This was so much fun. I'm excited for our next one. I'm excited for our collaboration tonight. And
Yes. Yeah, this was fun. I really enjoy these, so I look forward to these. So
yay! It's not like, oh gosh, I gotta deal with this all again.
No, it's like my favorite part too is just like everyone in chat's so base too. It's like everyone's
we got a good group here.
I'm like, yeah, my people spitting facts constantly.
Awesome. All right. Hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And as always, remember you're awesome and you're loved. Mwah. We'll see you guys later tonight. So until then, bye-bye.
Bye.